says my stream is up. Let's see if my computer says my stream is up. Yep, there we go, part 2. Beautiful, it has actually come up. Bear with me one sec, I'll just make sure the settings are correct, and then I will sit back down. I have no idea what I was saying. I saw the, like, little swirling thing come up on my screen, like, loading, and I was like, hang on. Have I lost my stream? And then I saw my laptop go, oh, the stream has ended. And I was like, oh no, that's not good. All right, I can see that it is up on YouTube, and yeah, it is up on my YouTube studio as well. Beautiful. I'm so sorry, guys. I don't know how many people have come back since I was very close to the end, but if there's anyone who is coming back, can you please put a yes in the chat to let me know that I can be heard? That would be lovely. Oh, Abby Sue says yay. Okay, so I'm clearly back. I will just read the last comment that there was on my last stream, and then I will come across to the chat on this channel, on this video. So it said, XD, I have a feeling I'm late, so can you show me how many days do you have to do the Valentine's event day? Yes, I can. Give me one sec. I will give him time to join us. I will swap over to the new stream that has popped up, and then I will show you how many days we've got to get it completed. I don't know why it does this to me on my phone. It's just got an attitude. There we go. I've brought this up. I'll just bring up the chat and make sure it says all messages, not top messages. And yes, people have said yes in the chat to let me know I can be heard. Okay, so let's go into the event tab for you, XD, so that I can show that. Valentine's Day just here. So the event is going to run from February 10th to February 24th. That's giving us 14 days in order to get this done, but you have to do 10 days of completion. So you can miss only 4 days if you want to get it done and don't want to do the buyout. Right, so yeah, I've got currently 1 day of progression, but hopefully people are going to be able to get it done relatively easily. You only have to do one of the listed missions on the right-hand side to get it done. You can go out and do the race only if you prefer, or you can do Gotham only if you prefer, or you can do the load-in if you prefer. But with that, keep in mind, if you're only doing that to get the daily progression, the currency is on discount the first week. So if you want something from the vendor, highly recommend you play as much as you can in that first week to get your currency, purchase it before the new week starts, and then after that, this is what I do, you don't have to do it, but I earn currency, save it for the next year's discount. But I will say, because of the price going back up, I'm very demotivated not only to purchase, but also to play the game enough to get the currency that I would normally be accumulating to spend, because I know that I'm not going to spend it right now. So I don't know if that happens to anybody else. I used to play all of the events, everything that I could on as many characters as I could, and I don't anymore, because there's things about the way the game currently functions that I find demotivate me from doing it, rather than encouraging me to do it. So hopefully that's not the case for everybody. Hopefully I'm the minority on that one. All right, was there anything else that I needed to show, guys? Oh yeah, apparently I'm back. Thank you, Tiny Lilith. At least everything came back okay. I'm not really sure why it dropped. I don't think it was my internet, because on my phones and on my laptop, the internet did not disconnect. So I'm guessing it's something to do with the server or with my console specifically. So not sure about that one, but at least I came back. Just so you guys know, if it ever drops out like that and I haven't said goodbye, I will come back. I don't like leaving it like that and not saying goodbye. It feels really rude. So no, I wouldn't do that. I promise. All right, I'll go back in here. I think we've had a very good look at those carpets. I think we know how great they are. There's so many of them. I hope people get really good use out of them. I feel like the larger carpets are really, really something people want. I know I do. I really love the black, and I must admit, they do have, when you have the right angle, a very, very vibrant color. Right? Look at that pink. It is really nice. So is the red. They're so good. I wish it was a little less, you know, faded when we get the wrong angle, but still, they're still really good. Junior said I need coffee. Oh yeah, and I bought donuts, so coffee and donuts. Oh, that sounds lovely. My brother came to visit us today, and we always have coffee together. That's our thing. We usually have 3 over the course of him being here, and we try really odd flavors. I think we had double caramel today, which means we had a caramel coffee with caramel syrup. Then we also had a mocha with Nutella. Delicious, by the way. Highly recommend Nutella in coffees. Didn't know it would be so good. And then we always end with our favorite at the moment, which is hazelnut with maple. So I had 3 coffees today. At least it's a rare occurrence that I do that, you know? Tiny Lilith said, I wish they would just lower all the prices a little. I do feel you on that. Oh, I'm glad it's not just me. The gear just went down 10 marks from 2D DLCs ago. Yeah, maybe they've realized people aren't playing through the content to get the styles. Because, I mean, the other developers had a very long period of time to get used to what was the right price for things to move well enough, but also get as much out of it that they can, right? Benefit us and benefit them. And I feel like these developers have kind of made some big leaps and maybe don't realize how much of an impact it has had to the game, because at the same time as increasing the prices for the vendors, they have also added the event tab. So it may to them look like the prices are perfectly fine because this event tab mission is encouraging people to play because of FOMO. Nobody wants to miss out on an award that's going to come only one time in the game. So people play it for that. And it may have warped their sense of how much the prices should be on the vendor. Because for me, I play less. I don't purchase during the non-discounted period of time. When it comes to the non-discounted period of time, I don't try to get as much currency then, because I know I'm not going to spend it till next year, so it's demotivating. I know that a lot of base builders used to spend so many hours working their butts off, playing things over and over again, using replay badges to reset the missions, get their currency, so that they could buy as many pieces as they need for their bases, and now they look at the prices and go, is it even worth it for me to do this? It's not all base builders, it is some, but I feel that too. So it's a little sad to see. I hope that maybe if it is something that is impacting the game to a high negative degree, like a lot of people are feeling this way, that maybe it's something they may change in the future. But at the moment, I would say whatever statistics they have about how much people are playing the game for the particular events is probably warped by the fact that the event tab has been added by them for the last year, because people play more for this at the moment. So yeah. XD said, so by the way, how are things been going? Have you watched Murder Drones yet, like at least a second episode? No, I haven't. Look, I'll be honest, I'm a very busy person. It's hard for me to get a lot of consumed content in. I often run behind on watching new series, new movies, all that sort of thing, because I'm busy. So I've only watched that first episode. If I do watch another, I will let you know, but it could be a little while. I also have a list of other things that people have wanted me to watch. I'm not there. I also have a game that I specifically downloaded, ready to play, and let the person, like, he's someone on my Discord, let them know I've downloaded it. And it was like a week and a half ago, and I still haven't touched the game because I don't have the time. So that's not a complaint. I'm perfectly happy being a busy person, but it does mean I don't get things done as quickly as I'd like. You may notice I don't get content out as quickly as some other YouTubers. It's because I'm just busy. I'm just busy. I do my best. I know that I can get at least one video and a live stream or 2 videos out during a week perfectly fine. And when there's something new coming into the game, I arrange my schedule around it so that I'm able to do that as well. So, yeah. But don't worry, if and when I do watch Murder Drones, I will let you know. Tiny Lilith said, makes me not want to play my ults, and I want to play my ults again. Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. I used to play my ults through every single new event, as many as I could run through it over and over to get all the currency that I wanted, and I'd passed everything as well. That's another thing. They've locked us being able to pass to our own tunes for some items, and now I don't know which items they are, and instead of going through and trying to work out which ones they are, I go, that's too much work. I can't be bothered. I know I can't pass them, so why would I bother? And then I just don't bother. The really good part about that is, though, as a YouTuber and the fact that I'm allowing you guys to vote in my different characters to play, I'm going to play my ults now. And I'm going to hopefully encourage you guys, play your ults when we're doing our live streams, where I say, as long as your character is over 30, bring them. If you want to get some of them played through because they're fun, because you want to level them, just because you think they look cool, please bring them. It's fun. I enjoy doing that. I'm not fazed about what people's CR ratings when we do live streams like that. There may be some where we have a CR cap, but most of the time I don't care about that. We're playing for the fun. We get our source marks when we do everything. I enjoy that. So please, if you want to bring ults and get them played, bring them. I'm perfectly happy with that. Junior said, I play my ults to send everything to 1. That's what I used to do too. But since the prices have gone up and since some things are no longer passable, I've been deterred from doing so. I just don't do, and also I don't have as much time as I used to, but yeah, it's a little bit tricky when they're doing that, you know? Harv said, yeah, I agree. I recently started a new account on PC and need all the feats for this event. That's the other thing. He said, love your videos, that girl from AU. Oh, thank you so much. But yeah, when you've started a new account and you're new to the game, we used to have it so that we could play an event, get our feat completions and rewards from that event, and also accumulate a little bit of currency to grab something from previous events, right? Even if you just played the one character. Though I will say, I played multiple. I would play through a bunch of them, I would pass everything so that I could get the feats completed. But now it feels like you can't do that. You can't. You're working your butt off to save to get not even all of the items that you need from the vendor to get your feats completed for this particular year of the event, which is tough, you know? It feels anticlimactic and I don't like it. I think it's supposed to encourage us to play more with more characters and potentially purchase. I don't want to do that. I don't feel the need to do that, and I'd rather miss out on my feats, which is really awful because I used to love getting all my feats. I'm not really an elitist, but I'm definitely a completionist. I like things to be done. But yeah, it's a little bit more of a deterrent than I think they realize. I hope it changes. I really hope it changes. I'd like this game to be something we play because we love it, because it's fun, and not because we feel like we're going to miss out on something if we don't. That can only last so long. Tiny Lilith said there's 24/7 in a day, so just don't sleep. Simple. I know, I've tried that. You know what happens though? I end up sitting upright, doing work or playing games and fall asleep. Sitting upright, doing work and playing games. I can't not sleep. It will overtake me at some point. I already don't sleep a lot. I'll be honest. I have had trouble with sleep for a good chunk of my life. I sleep either in really short stints or I will have one really good solid sleep of like 4 or 5 hours, and that's all when I'm supposed to be having 8. I don't know. I sleep weird. I sleep very weird, and some of the time I have is wasted laying down trying to sleep and failing, which I hate. Because then I'm like, do I get up and do something? Do I stay in bed and try to sleep? I don't know. And it's really weird too, because when I'm busy in the middle of doing something, that's when I start falling asleep. So I'll pack up everything, get in my pajamas, lay down in bed, close my eyes, and I'm wide awake, thinking about a bunch of stuff that I should be doing right now, but couldn't because I was falling asleep. It's like my body and my brain are not agreeing with one another about what we should be doing, and they keep changing their minds. Oh, but it's okay. I live with it. I'm okay with it. I work around the way that I function. It ends up being fine, but yeah, my sleep is not great already. Tiny Little said, I want to play my Tiny Firestar and play my Tiny Grail characters. Please do. Please do. I would love for that to happen. You could join on our live streams and you can play them. I would love that. Your Tiny Grail was so cute too. All of your tiny characters are so cute. Junior said, your character looks great, by the way. Perfect for the occasion. Oh, thank you. I should probably move this too. She's probably away at the moment. But I got a little bit excited about the event and yeah, wanted to put her in kind of Star Sapphire stuff. I wanted to keep the halo because of Cupid and the wings because I thought, I know that these aren't the wings that we are getting, but I think they're close. So when we did see the wings on, if you want to see them, by the way, Meta Knight had a showcase for them. I'm sure some YouTuber besides myself will purchase them so that you guys can see, at least I hope so. But up at the top of the wings here where you can see the 2 peaks where they fold, there was a lot of extra feather sticking out. The texture of the feathers on them was also smaller feathers with more depth. So, I mean, they might be something people really, really enjoy. I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what they look like, whether I prefer them. The one thing I'm really hoping for is that they are larger than this on the female characters, but I'm gonna be honest. I'm hoping for it, knowing that it's likely not the case. It feels like to me that the developers had to grab something in the game that they could quickly change around enough that they could give it as a reward because they've maybe given themselves a little bit too much work and not enough time. I could be wrong. This could be exactly what they intended, but to me, that's what it feels like. And yeah, as I said earlier, I was hoping they would not give us a pink power array augment right now, just because I don't think people are having enough time to level them up. But I was kind of thinking they'll probably give us a Carol Ferris ally, and I was mistaken. We got a Carol Ferris for our base. An ally would have taken quite a lot more work, and I'm thinking that they probably had to do something they could provide to us quick. Frankly, I'm really relieved. I try to get everything that's important on all of my accounts so I can showcase it to you guys. If you ask during a live stream, I can go, yep, this character has it, I'll show you. But these wings, I am okay with not getting them on all my accounts. If we live stream on an account and I don't have it, I don't think it's the end of the world for me to not have that one. So for me, I'm going to take a break from some of my accounts, I'm going to play it on my mains and leave it at that. So it's going to be a little bit of a holiday for me with this particular reward because it's not crucial to showing you guys on every single character. So that's at least nice for me. Don't know if this is nice for everybody else though. Oh, okay. So, Harv said I can relate with the trouble sleeping, LMAO. Yeah. Look, it's been a good chunk of my life I've been like that. I know why I'm like that. I'm used to it now. May not be the best thing, but I'm fine, perfectly fine. Tiny Lilith said it should not be a job. It should be fun. Yes. When it's fun, you lose track of time because it's fun, not a job. Yeah, that's what I want. This game is my favorite game. I love this game. There's so many things about this that are fun. The styles are great. The movement in the open worlds is great. Some of the narratives are so engaging, entertaining, fun. They've put the movie cutscenes that they've got in the beginning of it is really awesome. But yeah, you can put a lot of FOMO into a game. But if the only reason I keep coming back to this game is because of FOMO and all of the fun is sucked out of it, that only lasts so long. Because the reason I want all these items is because of my fun game that I love, and I want to have those in my fun game that I love. But if I now hate this game, which I don't, by the way, this is an example, if there's nothing about it that I'm enjoying, then I don't have FOMO for items for a game that I'm not enjoying. I will eventually leave the game and it will backfire. So I'm hoping that the little bits and pieces that are making it a little bit grating to play will be things that the developers realize are causing that and will change, but we'll have to wait and see how that goes. At the moment, there is more good that they're doing in the game than bad, in my opinion. People may disagree with me. The White Lantern Power Array Augment, the Blue Lantern Power Array Augment, awesome additions. Giving us characters in our bases, something we've been asking for quite some time. Really, really love that they've done that. They've given us some really good iconic abilities. They've given us the Imprimart, which I know is expensive, but for some people it's given them items that they've not been able to source. Giving us the extra tray of loadouts has been something that most people are really happy with. So, I mean, there's good and bad in everything, and this one, at the moment for me, there's more good than bad. But yeah, the FOMO thing and the microtransactions is a little tricky because it does make me get deterred. Also the increase in prices, the vendor prices for the events and for the episodes, guys, is hugely different from what it used to be. And up until this most recent episode, I haven't really bothered to try and get all of the style pieces in the Elite version for the last 3 episodes because they weren't a good price, for one, and they weren't something I liked enough to do that. Used to be I didn't care. I wouldn't care if the style isn't something I wanted. I would aim for it anyway because it was attainable. Now it's less so, especially with 2 Omnipotence gear items that we're getting for each episode. Those take at least 2 episodes to level up. So, yeah, it's a lot, and I feel like it's a little bit too much to make it, I don't know. I don't want to hate this game. Oh, yeah, Tiny Lilith said no fall damage. That's another thing. Hate fall damage in games. Oh, I think I've mentioned that before. Thank you, Tiny Lilith. Yeah, no fall damage in this game is lovely too. Also, I say the movement, but specifically the way we interact with the environment, where you don't get stuck on things. There are so many games where my character has something in front of them, a rock, and I can't go over it even though it's low. I have to walk my character all the way around it because that is an obstacle that I can't go over, through, fly over, nothing. In this game, that is so less of a problem, and I love that about this game too. Tiny Lilith said, for me that's okay if they make it better. Oh, they're baddies. They're level 4. Who's baddies? Did I scroll? Oh, I did. Okay, hang on. XD said, I love that today is the day I am going back to DC because I haven't been playing that much. I needed a break. Understandable. And I'm going to wait for today because today a character comes out for another game. Awesome! Well, I hope you enjoy. Tiny Lilith said, they're babies, they're level 4. Oh yeah, okay. Too young? Just a little bit too young. Your characters do need to be over level 30 to play through stuff. But I mean, if we did a 0 to 30 and it happened to be the same mentor that your characters have, you could just join in with your character and we could get them all the way to 30 in one stream. You know, just saying. Zenith Zentix said, do the events come out earlier on EU? Yes, so there is a downtime. It's not every single event, but if they have it prepared, it comes out during our reset on the EU server. We also have it finished sooner, so we will get it a few hours earlier than you guys, but we will also lose it earlier than you guys on the EU server. And then for the US, Xbox, and Switch, that also goes for PC US, you guys will get it after the shutdown that will happen. For me, it's tonight. I don't know what time of day it is for you guys. No, still tonight for you guys. But yeah, that's for people in the US specifically. But yeah, it comes out on EU sooner by, I think it's like 12 hours-ish, but it will also finish earlier for us. So our timing is just 12 hours difference because we live in the future. That's my mum. Oh, hello, DC Fanverse said, hello, milady. Greeting and salutations. Greetings. Hello, DC Fanverse. DC Fanverse has the best Superman collection. Just saying. Just saying. He said the game is almost dead. They are killing it. AI, though, the ring thing is fun and a nice change. Yes. A nice change up, sorry. It has killed all the power set. I must admit, with the iconic abilities and the power array augments, it does make it so that you don't really have to depend on your power set choice. So you can pick kind of any power set, add in all of these bits and pieces to adjust your character. Now, I don't mind this. I'm not bothered by the fact that they do that. I think it's still fun. I think it gives a lot more versatility. And it also means that people who have a particular power set haven't had to go and pay to change their power set to the new one when white dropped, to the new one when blue dropped. So it's not bothering me. But I don't know if I'm the minority or the majority with that particular opinion. I think the more inclusiveness of all the bits and pieces being accessible to everyone's character, the better. But I will say, it's kind of replacing the dollars, right? So instead of paying to reset your character to the new power set, we're paying to buy out the events, paying either in time or in money to level up these power array augment rings. So I don't know if it's negative impact or a positive impact or none whatsoever. If it makes no difference to how much effort, time, and money we put into the game compared to paying for a reset, I have no idea. I'm not the kind of person who resets my character's power set. If I like a new one and I want to play it, I go back to one of my characters that has it, or I create a new character with it. So when light hits, most likely we're going to have a ultimate recruitment event if what they've done in the past is any indication. And if that's the case, I will likely create a character with you guys that has the new light power set. We'll go through from 0 to 30, have a look at how it plays and what the differences are, and enjoy it that way. But I do think DC Fanverse is correct. I think that the way they've added new things into the game, like the iconic abilities, some of the abilities we get in the artifacts and in the power array ring augments, does negate a little bit what power set you choose. It depends whether or not you want to utilize your power set more or utilize the new power array augments and the iconic abilities more, because you can at the moment play a character with one power set and not use a single ability from that power set if you so choose. So yeah, my rogue character that I've created specifically has, I think, only 2 abilities from her power set, and that's because she's emulating characters. I think I've got Pyro's ability. I can't remember what the other one was. I don't remember off the top of my head, but everything else she has is an iconic ability, a artifact ability, or power array augment. So, yeah. But I mean, it does make our characters very adaptable, which, I mean, is kind of nice. Your armories as well are really, really different, and having 2 trays makes it really, really easy to utilize everything that you receive. So it's probably intentional to make it so that people do keep playing the events to get the iconic abilities and the power array ring augments, because you got more slots to put them in now. So Nappy said, I go by a simple policy in video games. If it ain't free in the game, I'll be fine without it. That is an understandable policy to have, and no problem with that one. Mind you, I will say this game can be played for free. I have an account that is free to play. I play through stuff on that to test whether or not there's a massive impact in the way they change the game that impacts the free-to-play players to the point where they can't play anymore. Nothing thus far has impacted the game to the point where free-to-play players can't play. And this is free-to-play players who've never put money in. So that means the escrow restriction is on, the mail restriction is on, the chat restriction is on, the amount of space that you have for your inventory, your bank, and your shared bank is on, and you cannot sell at the broker. You also can't trade or send any items through mail. So it's very, very restricted, but it's playable. It is absolutely playable if you play free-to-play. It's just a little less fun. A lot of inventory fixing. Tiny Lilith said, I do have 10 Wolfpack artifacts. 10? My goodness! Your account is amazing. When I get them to the right level, I can go through the content with 5 artifacts. Oh, you'll be so strong! That's awesome! Very nice. Harv said, yeah, it's 9 a.m. for the East Coast in USA. Oh, there we go. So it's morning. So your reset is actually in the morning for you, I'm guessing. I know that US has a bunch of different time zones as well. In Australia, we have 2 different time zones. Some of us take daylight savings, and a couple of states don't take daylight savings. For a short period of time, we're an hour out of sync with each other, and then it syncs back in again. Frankly, I wish I was in the part that, or rather, I wish the entirety of Australia didn't do daylight savings anymore, because the reasons for it don't really impact us here any longer. So it doesn't really seem necessary, but I know, that's not my choice. XD said, if the last character Tekken 8 is the guest character, what character from what other franchise would you want to do that will get you to play the game? I don't know Tekken well enough. I did actually play Tekken when I was younger, not for a very long period of time, but I'm not really a big, huge fan of PvP. I don't mind it a little bit. I go back to it every now and then with some things, but I find it gets very monotonous for me. I feel like I'm doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, and I lose interest quite quickly when that sort of thing happens. So, yeah, I don't know Tekken well enough to know anything about the characters any longer. It's been too long for me, and it wasn't my favorite, so I don't think I absorbed a lot of that information anyway. Tiny Lilith said, my Tiny Lilith has 1 tray fire abilities and the second tray white and blue abilities. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I will say my fire, hang on, let me do this. I'm going to put my UI back on so I can show you. Alright, so I have all fire abilities in the top row except Whirling Dervish, which is this one here. Sorry, Carol! She seems fine. And then Heat Vision, which is this one here. So it's 4 and 2 that aren't. And then, like, look at this. I have 1 fire ability. Okay, so I have the pizza, because the pizza is awesome. I've got the blue pew-pews, because I like the supercharged generation. I have this area of effect White Lantern, because it's really strong pushback. I have the white shield. Now, this one is a fire ability, but it's because I need the supercharge. And then you can even see my supercharge I'm using is the Bat Swarm one, because I think it looks cool. So I have, 1 there and 4 there. I'm using 5 actual fire abilities on this character. All the rest are not fire. Though I will say Heat Vision has been in the game for a very long time and is often used with fire build-outs. But yeah, it's an iconic ability. Whirling Dervish is for super speed. So it's been in the game a while, but it is not a fire ability. That means more than half of my loadouts are not fire. Because, I don't know, there's so many cool abilities, guys. I don't know. I don't have a problem with it. I actually enjoy it. So I don't know if there are people who are upset about it, but I'm having fun with them. I'm hoping everyone else is too. And it gives a lot of versatility to your builds in different armories, I will say. Oh, Junior said hit the like button. Well, I mean, if you like it, that sounds good. Nappy said, I just did, Junior. Now I have a crack in my screen. Thanks a lot. What did you do? You hit the like button too hard. Don't crack your screens, guys. Nappy said, those rings were only broken in the story modes. Now they're up to player stats, so it depends who uses them. Yeah, they do function differently when you're playing it in the load-ins, especially the White Lantern one. There is the first spammable. It's very, very efficient and effective. It goes really, really quick, and it has 3 beams of light when you play it as the White Lantern in the load-in solo. When you have it on your character, the time between them, there is actually a cooldown, and it does go just a little bit longer than you can, like, tap your button. So there is slightly a delay. It's still kind of spammable, but I know that there are a lot of people who don't consider something spammable unless you can continuously push with no cooldown. So I don't know where exactly on the scale it sits, but it does function differently. It only has 1 ball of light instead of the 3. Though I will say the blue ability does seem to play very similar to the load-in. I think maybe they've learned from what they did with the White Lantern one to the Blue Lantern one, but not the same. It's not quite the same, which, I mean, they probably did a little bit of rejigging and fixing. I don't know. DC Fanverse said what they should have done is make the rings a temporary thing, so it feels like we have been recruited by the Lantern Corps. Yes, for the story mission while the chapter is live and the latest one. Yeah, there's a lot of different ways they could have done it, I must admit. But I've got to say, when the White Lantern one came in and our character was transformed into a White Lantern, the fact that they didn't let us know, the fact that that narrative was like a surprise to everybody, I enjoyed that. I thought that was really great. I thought that was well introduced. The fact that we end up with the Lantern Ring and then we later receive the ring and the abilities in game, I was really happy to see that. I'm really glad, if it wasn't their plan to add it in originally, that they did so, because I mean the abilities were fun. I enjoyed it. The shield is really nice, really really nice. So yeah, but the Blue Lantern Ring introduction was foreseen quite easily and anticlimactic and brief. So, yeah. I feel like it could have been done a little better. But I mean, you guys already kind of know, I think most of you anyway, know my opinion on the most recent episode. Feels very cliffhangery to me, and I feel like the solo dragged so long. Nappy's, oh, no, not Nappy. Richard, hello, Richard! He said, hi, my favorite girl from down under. How do you get the smoke screen out of your hands? How do I get the smoke screen out of my hands? I have no idea what that means. I'm rereading it. Nope, I have no idea. Richard, I need more information. If it's a joke, I didn't get it. It went straight over my head. Tiny Lilith said, if you were in Star Trek Online, you would have one tray with at least 30 abilities at once. Woo. That is a lot of abilities to navigate. Wonder how that works on a controller. I know that there can be a lot of abilities when you are playing on a PC, because you know you can easily hotkey everything, and there's a lot of buttons. It's much easier when you have a controller. There's a lot of hold down this to activate this part to make this work sort of thing. So I'm curious with 30 abilities how that goes. I'm glad I don't play Star Trek Online. Love Star Trek, but you know, I purposely avoided that game knowing that I would get addicted to it if I played it. So we're not doing that. Harv said, I played Hard Light, almost got white mod to level 4. Oh, I just realized Hard Light. I take it back. Hard Light shield here. This is not fire either. I have 4 fire abilities. 4, because I originally did have the fire shield here, but the Hard Light is better. So then I swapped and put the fire shield here, and then White Lantern is better. So I take it back. 4 fire abilities. Yeah, DC Fanverse has an absolute point. You don't really need to focus on your power set these days, do you? No. Sorry, where was I reading? There we go. Harv said, I've played Hard Light, almost got the white mod to level 4. Does the white and blue ones have combos like Hard Light? Do you mean the Hard Light power set? And no. So, well, kind of. So this one, the spammable, this one, oh, this isn't spammable, sorry. The one that kind of replaces the Tamaranian one, in my opinion. That one has extra taps to get it to activate. As far as I know, the White Lantern one doesn't. Give me a sec. We'll have a look at that. Over here. Okay. No extra power interactions that I can see listed there. Oh, sorry. It always goes all the way out of the menu. I don't like that. Just check this one. Mind you, they're probably more so listed in the... Oh, I haven't even got this one leveled all the way because I didn't need to. I didn't need it, guys! But let's go over to my traits and we can look there and see, because they may not have listed the extra taps over on that screen. So on here, I haven't leveled my blue one all the way, just so people are aware. No extra taps, no extra taps. The shield definitely does not. No. So all of the ones that you can do on... Oh, that's another reason I'm using Radiant Nova, the AoE effect, because it counts as a finisher. Just so everyone's aware as well. But yeah, for the White Lantern one, we don't have any combo taps at all, as far as I can tell. As far as I remember, there's only one ability in here that has extra taps, which is Hope Wave. It's the one I'm currently using. You can tap range twice after first activation. So that's the first one, that's the second, that's the third, so that you can get the full use of it. But as far as I know, that's the only one that does that. All of the other abilities on blue don't. You only activate them one time. So hopefully that's helpful. But yeah, it's been a little while since I played my light character. And yeah, there is a lot of extra taps, but basically every time one of them has a secondary as Whip Thrash, I put that in, and my character basically the whole time is like, whip thrash, whip thrash, minigun, whip thrash, something else, whip thrash, just keeps going. I have a problem. I wonder if they'll make it stronger when they finally do the respec for light. I hope not. I'm already addicted to it. We don't need to make it worse. Junior said, I love the abilities the way they are. I'm not complaining. Yeah, I'm not complaining either. I enjoy our power sets the way they are, and I enjoy the new abilities that they've given us. I think they're really fun. I think it's nice that it makes it versatile for everyone and no one has to change their character over to a new power set. But also, they are changing the power sets up to make them stronger, right? We've started with water. Water is insanely strong damage right now. Very, very nice to use. And I would imagine they're probably going to go through everything and do the same. Well, maybe not everything. I feel like if they do everything, fire will be last. Because fire is a very strong one on its own. For soloing, I don't feel like there's a lot of need for anything to be edited. But if they edit everything else and fire ends up sucking, that's going to be so sad for me. Because fire is my favorite, and I won't change to another power set on her. I love it too much. It's too fun. But, you know, as I say, I'm not always trying to be the best of the best. That's not the case for me. Oh, Richard said, on your Dragon Mail tune, how do you get the smoke screen out of your hands? Smoke screen. What was I casting on him? I don't remember his abilities. I can swap back to him. Hang on. Let's swap characters again. Go to my villain. Switch character. I love him. He's so cool. I don't know why I love him so much, but he's so cool. Look at him. He's so nice. Aww. Now, smoke screen out of my hands. I'm not sure what I had, but I will have a look at my loadouts and then let you know which one it is. If you see it, let me know. XD said, just in case you didn't understand my last question, here's some examples of what I meant. People want, like, for example, one of the girls from Final Fantasy in Tekken. Are you asking me what I would want put in Tekken or what I would want put in this game from another franchise? Because if I was going to add different characters from other franchises to DC, it would be Marvel. Because they would slot in so well and everybody already loves them. Alright, Richard said, when you fly, smokescreen comes off your hands. Does it? Oh, okay, so that is because I have the white smoke movement. So it goes on his feet now, when because he's acrobatics, but when he's flying, it goes from his hands because it's not coming from his feet like it does when you're actually got flight. I don't have flight, I have acrobatics and he's gliding. So that's what comes out of his hands there. He's so cool. I love him. Especially being ice, it kind of looks like he's trailing ice behind him, right? I wish there was a better blue color than this, like a really pale blue that I could put for the movement because I think it would suit him a little bit more. But I'm not complaining, okay? It's still great. He's still great. He's such a cute little character. I say that. He's not supposed to be cute, but he kind of is adorable, you know? And he definitely looks icy, which is what I was going for. XD said, so that's what I mean by guest character. If you want to say someone from DC, then by all means go ahead. Oh, so is there a particular character I would like to see in the game that isn't already in the game? I mean, I love the X-Men. I would love to see the X-Men in the game. If there was a character that we could add as an ally, I would really love to see Trigon. But he's already in the game technically, right? I don't know that would count. Yeah, I'm really sorry. I know that's a boring answer, but there's so many characters I'm trying to recreate on here who are from Marvel that I really enjoy. I wouldn't mind Star Trek characters in here too. I love Star Trek. I think they would be fun too. But yeah, I know my answer is boring. I'm sorry. Distance said, hoping we'll be able to get a third or fourth loadout tray down the line. Oh, that would be nice. Can see us at least getting one more similar to FF. Final Fantasy 4. Final Fantasy 4? Is it meant to be 14? Oh, it's an X. Final Fantasy 14. Oh, I'm having a day. I read all of the letters and it still didn't compute in my head. I'm so sorry. But yeah, I mean, one thing I would like to see is the tray not being invisible. So you know how we switch between the two? I wish we could see both of them. Like, so the first tray we could see up the top, and then the second tray went slightly below it, maybe, or to the right of it slightly below. I don't know, but something that would let me know when they come back from their cooldown. because at the moment having it gone completely and not being able to see the cooldown means I have to anticipate. Not that I can't. I can definitely anticipate what the cooldown is on my second bar, but I'd rather not have to. I'd rather see it right there, so that's not something that I'm trying to keep in the back of my mind while I'm concentrating on other things in the game. So yeah, I wish they would do that. But yeah, I could potentially see if they keep adding all of these iconic abilities and power rate augments, they could definitely make it so that we can rotate through three. Mind you, I will say if they do that, how are we going to fit them all on the screen? Hopefully they do actually make it so we can see all of our loadouts at one time and have a little light that moves from each line so we know which line we are currently having active so we don't activate the wrong thing. But yeah, I mean, we'll have to wait and see. I don't think that's probably at the top of the agenda at the moment. It does seem like there are other things that are more of a concern right now because, in my opinion, it seems like they have not being able to get their storyline for this mission, this episode complete, and probably they're trying to get it so that it will complete when we get our aftershock. At least that's what I'm hoping for. I'd much rather have something playable that gives me a conclusion to the story rather than a blog, which is what I'm fearing will happen instead. We'll have to wait and see. Distance said double lantern shields. Yeah, actually, yes, you're right, because if we use the white lantern shield and we use the hard light, so I don't have it on this character, the white, but, yeah, and the hard light, we have double lantern shields, absolutely. And honestly, I like the white more than the blue. It gives us a little bit of healing at the end when it, leaves us. It also just looks cooler. I love the way it shatters into little fake glass pieces. It's very cool. Very, very nice looking shield. And it works great too. You can see my priorities are more about what it looks like than what it actually does, isn't it? Nappy said, at that point we might as well make raids a one-man thing. Where's that? Oh, for the trays, for the loadout trays. I mean, I'd be okay with that. I already do some raids by myself. I must admit, I'm more likely to do a raid as a duo. My mum will come as my healer, and I'll do it with her. Or my best friend and I will do it, and he will tank, and I will damage, and that works really good too. So there are some raids you can't do that way, obviously, because the mechanics require a particular amount of people. Same for some of the alerts require 4. But for the majority, it's not too hard to get through the content with less people these days, which I think is a great benefit to the fact that we have less players than we used to. And it's not always easy to be able to get into the load-ins that you need. So I quite like that they've given us the choice to do that, and it's created a great amount of content for a lot of people who are online on YouTube making footage of them soloing this and soloing that. I love it. People get to show off. It's fantastic. Tiny Lilith said the fire shield isn't very good, not strong enough. I agree. When it comes to the hard light shield and the white shield, they are both much, much stronger. The only benefit to the fire one is that it's going to do damage to enemies that are around you, but it's minimal. It's so minimal, it's not worth it. If you can get the white lantern one and the hard light, definitely recommend you change it over because it's not great. It is not the greatest shield. Harv said, yeah, combos like hard light power set. Yeah, so for the white and blue lantern abilities, only one of those abilities has the extra taps, and the rest are perfectly fine. So it's a good one to put in your light set if it's really difficult for you to have the extra taps and extra combos, particularly now that we've got the 2 trays. If you play a light or an atomic or a celestial power set, and you're only using your power set loadouts, that's a lot of extra taps to memorize. So my Celestial character has, I think, 1 tray fully Celestial and 1 tray of anything else because it's too many things for my brain to remember. So I would imagine that for the light power set, using some of these light abilities, one, it's going to make sense, at least in the context of it being light, maybe not in the context of color, but at least... and it will give you less taps that you have to do to get your combos out, particularly if you're someone who feels like you get interrupted all the time when you're in the middle of a combo. Having some abilities you can use where there's no interruption because you only have to cast it once can be a little bit of a relief, because I know Multiverse doesn't like some of the power sets because he doesn't like that the combos are always getting interrupted, and I know he's not the only one who feels that way, so... understandable. Nappy said, I will say I do like the colors they add to the new or reworked powers. The black silhouettes were kind of stale. Kind of stale? Colors they add to the reworked powers. Black silhouettes were kind of stale. I think I'm missing something. Do you mean the iconic characters? The aura they've done? I'm not sure. I'm really sorry, Nappy. I'm not following. If you could elaborate, that might help me a little bit because I'm not really sure what you mean. I'm so sorry. Distance said, ideally, content would be buffed to compensate for the loadout increases, that would be ideal, like it was when we went from 1 to 3 artifact slots, since adding more double loadouts hasn't happened. I do think that that's probably what should happen to compensate, but I mean, they've removed things where they've had to make changes to increase the um, difficulty of things. So at the moment, it doesn't seem like that's been done, and frankly, I don't know that it's on the agenda for them to do that. They haven't said anything about it. We did get a producer's letter where they explained what they have plans for 2026, and it wasn't there. So I don't think it's on the agenda. But I mean, there's often things that they are trying to get done, and they don't tell us anything about it. So yeah, who knows? Harv said, yeah, I love whip thrash. Hey! Hand clap, hand clap, hand clap, and anvil throw move. See, it's not just me! Amazing taste you have. Richard said, is there a new iconic ability for this event? No! No, there is not. There is what is it called? Wings? It's wings. So the new reward that we're getting that's going to be redeemable on all of our characters is a set of wings. It is called Perfected Angel Wings. If you want to see someone who I know has already showcased it, Meta Knight has shown it from before it came into the game. I don't know if anyone else has actually bought it out and showcased it. I'm really sorry that I can't do it this time. Normally I have no problem. This time I can't afford to do so, so I'm really sorry, guys. But it doesn't look that different from wings that we already have in the game, particularly the Glimmer Wings. But it did have a little bit more texture, a little bit more feathering sticking out from the wings, so it wasn't all a uniform shape. But other than that, I can't show you what it looks like. Hopefully another YouTuber has brought it out to showcase for you guys. If that's the case, please go have a look. Let me know if you like it. I might also, not tonight because this is nighttime for me, we're at like 10:20 p.m. right now. But maybe tomorrow I'll see if I can find a YouTuber who has showcased it and decide whether or not I love it or hate it, because I have no idea. But it does seem like they've grabbed something that already existed into the game, already existed in the game, and did a few things to improve or change it around, and then made that the reward. I'm guessing because it's a little bit of a simple one to do, so hopefully they can put their focus elsewhere, please, on the Aftershock being the end of the narrative. That would be nice. Nappy said, that is true, but even then, people being meta chasers will find a build to still pull it off. I've seen people in raids now being one-man armies. Oh yeah, I have seen people doing that. Are you talking about when there's ones where you clearly need to have more players in it so that you can activate screens and things? How on earth would they do that? There's only a few that I can think of where multiple consoles have to be activated at the same time. If you're solo, you can't activate those multiple consoles. There's an alert as well where you need all 4 players to activate a console at the same time. One alert has 2 that need to be activated at the same time. So those are the ones I'm talking about that you cannot complete as a soloist. But yeah, other than that, I think pretty much everything is kind of fair game. You either have a really, really strong build that can get through because you are doing so much damage output, or you have a really strong build that has longevity, you can last a really, really long time, that sort of thing. Or you can be someone who takes the knockouts and brings yourself back and keeps doing it until you get through. Some people are just really, really strong with their character builds as well, and they are just great at controlling them, even though they're not elite or endgame, but they know their character well enough to be able to work around what goes on and know the mechanics really well. It's really interesting to see how many people are able to solo stuff at the moment. There are some really strong players on DC. It's great. Richard said, when you fly, smokescreen comes out of your hands. Yes, it does. That is because I am acrobatics. I hope that you caught that when I said that earlier. Oh, he said, okay, thank you. Yes. So when you're flight, it comes from your feet. When you're acrobatics, it comes out of your hands because they're like gliding with their hands out. But man, he looks so cool when he does. And Junior said, your dragon looks cool indeed. Hey, thank you. Distance said, yep, lol, people have been soloing raids since 2015-ish. Yeah, so it used to be that you'd have to find enough people to queue up for you, so that you could get in, and then they would leave the instance, or you would have to enter through the portal in the Watchtower or in the Hall of Doom to be able to get into it as a soloist. But yeah, people have been doing it a long time, but I'd say it's much, much easier now with the loadout tray being the way that it is, and for the people who didn't know that you could enter solo through some of the portals in Watchtower and Hall of Doom, because a lot of players who are newer have no idea that they exist. They've only known the House of Legends and don't really visit those locations, so they wouldn't know they could go in. But now we can queue it up anyway, so it works out. Nappy said, lol, yeah, so 4 trays at this point, kill question. I wouldn't mind. I be tired of waiting, lol. I mean, if they keep giving us more and more powers through the power array augment rings or the iconic abilities or artifacts, I would not put it past them to give us an extra tray. But I don't think that's soon. I think that's very, very far in the future if it happens. Richard said the fish head exoskeleton might make a bigger dragon head. That's what I use on my mini Godzilla. Oh, yeah. See, there's ways I could potentially improve him. He's currently wearing a lot of Doomsday, and I really love all of the spikes and stuff. I don't know if you guys heard me when I was doing my Kryptonian capsule, the absolute Kryptonian capsule opening, and I said I need the spikes. This is the character I want the shoulder spikes for. It's not for this particular style. It's for one of his other styles where I want it to be a little bit more discreet. But yeah, there's definitely some different things I could do to get him looking more dragony, I think. But I must admit, his face just looks so nice. If I got a really, really good dragon head on him, I don't know if he'd be like as adorable as he is right now. But I mean, we can have multiple armories. We all know I love to do that, so. Zentix said give him the mean human face. No! He's not a mean... Well, he is. He's a villain. He's a justified... No, he's not justified. Never mind! I like his cute little face. But yeah, I'm probably going to change it up. I haven't messed around with him with all of his armories. You can see he's only at level 36. I haven't done much since creating him, other than a little bit of making him look better and have the ice power set, which I really love. But yeah, when I do get around to him and do all of his armories, obviously his powers are going to swap around. He's going to have multiple armories with different styles that look like a dragon, and probably this face will either not be the main or will be gone completely because it's a little bit too cute for a dragon, right? Just a little bit. But I still love it. XD said, I take it you'll be a person that would love for either Star Trek, DC, or Marvel character in Tekken. I don't know what I would love in Tekken, because I haven't played Tekken in a long time, and I probably never will again, because I'm not big into the PvP. I get bored. I get bored quite quickly. It's like some of the car racing games. I really loved them for a short period of time, but then every single track is exactly the same, repeating. I got tired of that too. So, yeah, but I really do love Star Trek. I love DC. I love Marvel, so they would do. Tiny Lilith said, I would like a small tray to see the cooldown too. I agree. Yeah, that would be nice. If we could see both. I mean, at the moment, hang on, where is it? Does it not come up when I do that? Oh, that's weird. Okay. At the moment, you can see there's like quite a large gap underneath. If we did add an extra circle underneath and maybe slightly to the right, so it's like on an angle, I feel like we could fit 2 full trays there and see them perfectly fine. I think once you start adding a third one, that extends upwards, or you'd have to make the circle smaller, which is fine for a big screen or people with really good eyesight, but for people who don't have really good eyesight or who have a small screen, that's probably not the best solution. But at the moment with the 2, I feel like you can see both, or could, if they put it into the game, could see both without it interfering too much with your ability to see your gameplay, and also with both trays seeing the cooldown, I think it would make it easier to play. But I mean, they don't know who I am. They won't listen to me. Who knows? Let's just hope. Distance said, yes, need to see small versions of our loadouts above the loadouts for better messaging. Yay! See, I'm glad I'm not the only one who thinks this. Seeing them is helpful, guys. Oh, my mum's character is here. And Superman Prime. We've got visitors. I'm surprised Mum found me. I flew around in like a bunch of circles. Harv said my tank style is Darth Vader. Ooh, Cobra Commander from G.I. Joe. Nice. DPS spot style is Spider-Man. Shredder. Oh, cool. Ice Flash style. I made a few more. That's wonderful. They sound great. I love that. Tiny Lilith said that Solo is still bugged sometimes. Yeah. Is that the White Lantern one, or is that the Sorrow one? Because I've encountered bugs in both. I think the Sorrow one is the one that has the more bugs at the moment, though. So the Supercharge, that is true. It has 3 shields rotating around you. You can, I believe, sacrifice a shield in order to do something with precision and might. I don't remember what it was exactly, but reading it and being... it sounded cumbersome and like an annoyance to me. Is that a combo? Because I don't have it on the character where I looked it up. She's only leveled up 3 of the Blue Lantern abilities up to the ones that I needed. I didn't feel the need to pay in to go further than that because obviously I'm not going to utilize them on this character. It would be a waste of the nth metal. But yeah, if it is a combo on that last supercharged shield that you get, can people let me know? Because as far as I knew, it was a particular attack or loadout type that you had to use to get it to lose one shield and activate the precision might thing. I could be mistaken. I don't have it in front of me to double check that. Actually, we could look on here and see if it's listed on this part. It's not usually, though. I mean, when we checked before, you could see it doesn't say the extra taps. Hope Wave? No, Surging Barrier. Grant a surge of power and control immunity. Create 3 hard light shields to defend you, reducing the damage you take by 10% per shield. So it's like 3 rotating panels that are meant to shield you. There we go. Combo abilities deal extra damage and pulse out a heal at the cost of 1 shield, healing yourself and group members. Group members affected by Hope Burns Brighter healed more. So it's not that you have to that you have combos on that ability. It's that if you use a combo ability, it will deal the extra damage and do the healing, and you lose a shield. See, this seemed like a lot of fuss for something, but I mean, if you are playing something with a lot of combos, like if I put it on my Celestial maybe, but it sounds like it's meant to go with the light power set. If you have a lot of combos that you're doing, maybe this would be useful for you, I don't know. But I found it really cumbersome, like a lot of steps. First you have to build up to the supercharge, you finally activate the supercharge, and then I'm going, okay, I need to do some combos so that I lose the shield so that I can heal myself. It seems like a lot. So it might just be me. But yeah, I think I may have mistakenly said blue light doesn't have a shield. That's not technically true. The supercharge is a shield. So I apologize. I definitely misspoke. Thank you, Richard. Nappy said, to be honest, I would like more hold variants for certain moves, like how Starbolt has if I do a one-handed tornado pull and hold it, it turns into a double arms like Flash. Which one is that? Starbolt. The Starbolt ability, you can either do extra taps to get the extra combos, or you can hold it down. No, not loadouts. Iconic powers. Where are you? It's this one here. So you can tap the range, and you will get unlimited Starbolt shots. And if you do the hold range, you get the Star Blast, which does an AoE effect. That is quite strong. It's very nice. So I'm guessing that might be what you're referring to. Starbolt, like it has, if I were to do a one-handed tornado pull and hold it, it turns into the double arms like Flash. I may be misunderstanding exactly what you mean there, but yeah, I don't think I've seen this, so I think I'm misunderstanding what you've said. Turbocharge said, good morning. That's so funny. It's 10:30 at night for me. But good morning. I hope you guys are having a good day / night / evening, whatever you're up to. Junior said, devs give us the Black Lantern ring abilities. I know, right? So many people want black. I want black. I would really like it. I have a Black Lantern character. She currently uses the purple side of Celestial. I hate the shield for it because it's gold and it's combo to get it to activate. So I would really like a black one potentially, other than because I use a hard light shield. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but because we have the 2 trays now, I have a shield always on my X key. So I have a shield here. Whatever I have on my second one is going to have a shield as well. It's always shields on that key. So I always have 2 on all my builds. Otherwise, I end up with something mixing me up. So I have hard light colored in black. I would like a black one, please. Please! But we don't know. I mean, once they give us the Black Lantern Power Array ring, we don't know if we're even going to get a shield, or even if it's going to be something that's going to be relevant for my Celestial character. We might end up with a whole bunch of tank stuff. Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, I would really love to see some Black Lantern stuff. I'm sure that people were hoping for pink for this event. Potentially Christmas, the Greed one. We'll have to wait and see what they choose to do. I don't think it's the end of it, but I do wonder if maybe the next Power Array augment we receive will have nothing to do with the lanterns, particularly because in their live stream that they put out kind of recently, they said, don't worry, they won't always be lantern rings. And I thought, I wonder if they're saying that because we've got 2 in a row. Maybe they're going to go something else for the next one. So, again, we're just going to have to wait and see. Everything we can wonder about is all speculation because they don't let us know a lot of things. Distance said, since Harv mentioned the anvil power, kind of hope we have a power like Meteor Ice Ball Drop where we drop a piano and combo an anvil or something else to drop cartoon style. Oh my goodness, just every ability that Wile E. Coyote has, please. That would be so fun. I take it back. We added Wile E. Coyote to this game. Yes, I would love to be able to drop a piano. So funny. Tiny Lilith said, your mum just never looks like a villain. You sure she's your mum? I know, she even called her villain a hero in disguise. My mum and I are similar in a lot of things, and then some things we are absolutely the opposite. Aesthetic styles, we are the opposite. But yes, I'm sure. Absolutely sure. Richard said, so you're using a flight ring with acrobatics movement. Thank you for the awesome video. I'm not using a flight ring. No, no. When you have acrobatics, you can glide. So that's all I'm doing is gliding. It's like doing the super speed when you go extra fast, except in the air. So this is not flight. It is just how acrobatics glides. I'm sure, Richard, that you've been playing longer than me. I feel like I've misunderstood what you've said, because I'm sure you know that. I'm not sure. But yeah, no flight, no flight ring, nothing. Earlier I did say, isn't it nice, a couple of things about flight. Mistakenly, I meant acrobatics. I'm so sorry, I know that is definitely my fault. Nappy said the dragon looks like something awesome out of Skyrim. Oh, thank you. Skyrim is like my favorite non-MMO game. And then Elder Scrolls was the MMO I came from before I played this. So that is a massive compliment. Thank you. He also said, if devs really want to make a big change, they could, make our characters talk. Just saying, I'll even take only talking in games like battle quotes. Lol. I mean, they have given us the interactable conversation that we have in, like, especially on Mogo, right? I think that's the first place where we really had they say something, we say something, a clear back and forth of conversation, and we hear the audio from the NPC. Our character doesn't have a voice, and I know this because I played through the entire thing and only grabbed the narrative for a video, so people who only wanted to know what the storyline was could watch that, and they didn't have to play through the game or watch all of the actual attacking in between. And I had to do the audio for my own character, because what she says is words written, not an audio. And there's a lot of games that will give you a voice choice, and you can choose like 3 female voices, 3 male voices, you pick one, and that's the audio that you'll hear for your character. I think that would be a very good addition to this game if they're going to continue giving us back and forth conversations, including our character. Because at the moment, just having the writing of what we say, it takes us, I think, a little bit out of the game, a little bit out of it, so we know it's a game more so than if we could hear our character actually having a proper conversation. Immersion, that's the word I wanted. It takes a little bit further out of the immersion than we could potentially have if we heard the audio. But I will say, I doubt they'll do it, because they already write blogs on a website instead of putting that in the game as something we get to hear or something we get to play through. And I think that's probably a financial decision. Hiring a voice actor or voice actors to do multiple voices, at least 2 they'd have to have, right? The male character form would have 1 voice and the female character form would have another, potentially. But that's money that I don't think they're going to want to spend. So I don't really think it'll happen, even though I think it would be really great. Distance said he's similar to Gentleman Ghost, a very dapper, gentle dragon. Ah, thank you. I think he looks. I know he shouldn't be like cute and sweet, but he seems cute and sweet to me, and I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, considering he's a giant, ice, spiky villain. I don't know, but I like my character. Genius said, "Have you tried the Vaughnian visage style?" No. So anyone who's giving me good suggestions for a dragon head on my character, I haven't experimented beyond Doomsday. Just so you know, I know of a whole bunch of ones in game that I could use. I mean, Lovely's head might even work, who knows? But there's quite a few that I can utilize to give him a shot and try and get him looking more dragony. But other than after creating him as a character and then going in and being like, what is something I'm actually going to play with him, and creating this ice dragon look on him with stuff I've already got in game, I haven't gone further than that yet. I mean, you can kind of tell. He's at level 36. I got him to level 30 and went, okay, let's fix his style, done. And that's all I've done so far. I need to go around and find exactly what I want for his different armories. He probably will look a little less adorable when I'm actually done. But for right now, I'm still happy with his build. I love all the spikiness. I think he looks dragony. I'm pretty happy. But I do think there is room for improvement. I particularly love his feet, right? His feet are kind of cute. He's got 2 toes on each foot. Ah! I think the things that I find cute are not cute. There's something up with the way I think of things. I don't know. Junior, oh, sorry, I read that. DC Vanverse said, did they not say we got a new event for Valentine's Day? Yeah, so the new event is this, the event tab, where we receive these rewards. So I believe that's what they're referring to. They have also given us some extra feats, but otherwise it's business as usual. We have the same three things that we can do daily, which is the open world in Gotham, it is the alert that we can load into, and it is the race. We also still have the thing that we can do only one time per character, Sea of Love, I think, is that what it was called? Sea of Love, with Mera and Aquaman's very personal life being told to us in a narrative that's mildly uncomfortable and gets me to apparently rant. But but other than that, that's all what we've had every single year, with the exception of last year, actually. We had an extra load-in, a Zamaron load-in that they included for us to do as an extra thing to get currency. They have removed that this year. It's no longer a thing. So we actually have less than last year. Dennis said, hi all from the EU server. Hello! Welcome, Dennis. Distance said the BLSC shield, so Blue Lantern, works with the Blue Lantern supercharged generator power even if your power has no combos or starfires. That's awesome, actually. I mean, I personally probably won't use that shield, but if people are interested in it, it certainly works in a fascinating way. I don't know of any other superchargers that function where you activate it and then there are extra steps you can do to get it to work to a different degree or to a stronger degree. But I think I've said to you guys before, I took superchargers out of my rotation a very long time ago. I very rarely use them, and now every single one of my characters is using one because the tray has been introduced, the extra loadout tray. So I'm getting back into the swing of using them, and there may be superchargers that function that way, but this is the first one that I have noticed because I haven't used them for a while. And also, I probably won't use it because it seems cumbersome to me. It's like, okay, build up the supercharge. Now the supercharge is active. Now do these extra things to get it to break down shields. And it's too many things for me to keep track of in my head at the moment, particularly with all the new things they've put in the game. Maybe later down the track. Nappy said hi from NA. I don't know what NA is. North America? I'm not sure, but hi. Richard said they have the car drop uplink. They do? There's a car drop uplink. This is not something that I've been aware of. If that's the case, that's awesome. I love that. I wish they'd give us a couple of those fun, iconic... Dropping a piano sounds great. Dropping a car sounds great. I love that. Richard said, cool, I'm always flight. Oh, I see. Okay, so you probably didn't realize acrobatics had the glide thing. That's for a lot of people, they're only speedster and they don't know. So the glide thing is part of acrobatics. I haven't had to add anything to it. It's just what they do. It's weird though, right? Because acrobatics seems like the most normal movement for a human person, but apparently they can glide. I don't know. I'm not mad about it. Acrobatics is the first movement I ever used in the game. I find it good. I enjoy it. And the only reason it wasn't super speed is because at the beginning I liked that acrobatics worked within the environment, so it will pull from the environment, leap off the environment. I didn't actually realize too much about the glide when I first started, but I like when I have a movement for it to interact with my environment, which is why flight for me is my least favorite. I don't hate it or anything, it's just I can float anywhere in the game. And yeah, I didn't do super speed because when I tried it, at the advice of my best friend who said it was awesome, on the Switch, my Joy-Cons are very, very sensitive and I could not get it to be controlled smoothly. I have since adjusted that. I have played it on console and I find super speed way more comfortable for me. But acrobatics is still the first thing I ever used and I do really like it still. I just like super speed more. And I do a lot of things fast. Super speed helps with that. DC Fanfest said, did they remove the Mera mission for Valentine's and what's the new mission for Gotham? So they haven't removed the Mera mission. As far as I knew, at least since I've started playing DC, so for the last 6 years, the Mera mission is something you do one time per character ever. It doesn't reset every year or every week or whatever. It's one time per character and then it's gone. So it still does exist. I actually went through my characters and specifically jumped onto my Dragonian character so that I could play through it because I've already done it on my main tune. And yeah, it's still there. You still go and collect everything, you get your reward, but it's one time ever. And you do get 10 of the currency for it. I do wish it was something they would reset and give us every year, maybe for all of our characters. I understand if they don't want to do it weekly with 10 being the price, being the reward you get for it, but you know, it'd be nice to be able to replay that one time a year. Mind you, the way that I react to the audio that we get for it, maybe not. But yeah, as far as I knew, that was one time per year. So sorry, per character. So I don't think that has changed, but correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe before I started to play, it was something you did do yearly. I'm not sure. He said, what's the new mission for Gotham? So the Gotham mission that we have is just the one we've always had, which is go and deal with the Starfire stuff. What's it say out here? Emotional baggage. These starfires in Gotham are restoring love to the masses, but Mr. Freeze needs their crystals to improve his technology. This is a villain, so it says for mine, help Mr. Freeze do whatever it takes to bring Nora back to life. So from the villain side, it will say one thing. From the hero side, it will say another. But that's the mission we've had for a very long time. It's not new. It's just a repeat of what we've always done for Valentine's Day or Valentine's event, because Valentine's Day isn't today. Justin said, wish we had body sliders. Actually, yeah, there's a lot that could be done with the different sizes of our characters. We have very standardized builds, but I mean, I doubt it's something they'll add at this point, because if they try to add sliders into the game right now, there's a whole bunch of style pieces that are not going to fit. They're going to have to adjust every style piece in the game to be able to work on these sliders to some degree, and I don't know how easy that is, how well that will go, whether it's worth their time, and I suspect it's not. I suspect it's something that isn't going to influence whether or not people play the game. I would still play this game without the sliders. I'm sure there is a lot of people who would, but it would be nice, wouldn't it? So many people have said they want to make Titanic Trenton, which incidentally is a character that was made for this game by the previous developers, I believe, and or maybe even earlier than that. He's an old character in this game, and he's got the build in the game, but they didn't give it to us as the players. It's a little bit sad to see, right? I mean, Carol Ferris has a very different physical build to our choices in the game. Wouldn't it be nice if we could also use that? But I don't think they're going to. I think that it's going to be too tricky for them to get the styles to work for it, to be honest, but it would be really nice. Junior said, DC Vanverse, the showcase, she showcased them earlier in the video. Yes, I did. So at the very beginning of the video, I did the villain version of the missions. Then we looked at all of the pieces that we've received for our base and as style pieces from the vendor from this year's event. And then I played the hero version as well. So if you do want to check out what it is, if you go to the very start of this live stream, you will see me run through the villain version. And then if I can't give you a timestamp because obviously we're live. Oh, I just realized. Not this live, the previous live. This is the part 2 because we had everything stop working. So if you do want to see it, you have to go to the previous live before it cut out and watch the very beginning of it, and it'll show you everything that is in it for now. So yeah, I just realized the live stopped. I'm so sorry. Richard said, how much is the buyout? So I think it's 2,000. Event, not style right now. So it's 2,000 full price. It's 1,800 for me because I have a membership. I think I've got like a couple of hundred in there at the moment, don't I? Let me just check. I got 265 in there, guys. 265. Not enough for the buyout this time. But yeah, at the moment it is 2,000 if you don't have a membership. 1,800 if you do. I should have got, or is the, no wait. The mark-off might actually be because I've done one day. Hang on, let me reread that. Buyout. Readjusted price affected by progress amount. I take it back. It is 2,000 for everybody. It is 1,800 because it's taken off 200 from my one-day progression of the event. That is why it's like that. I'm so sorry. I definitely got that wrong for a second. But yeah, I don't have the funds to do that one today. I'm sorry. But it might be worth it for some people to do the buyout. Personally, I think for those wings, I don't know that I would consider it worth it. I think you should play through the game. Frankly, I get asked sometimes, do you think this particular event is worth buying out? I don't think a single event that has come into the game is worth buying out. I think it should be played, and then if you get to the end and there's a little bit of days that you've missed and you need to pay, I understand that, sure. but I don't think any of these are worth paying for them early. Unless you're someone who really, really wants to have it first and level it first and showcase it first, I don't see any reason. It's expensive to do so. I think if you can play it, play it. Because I buy it out because I'm a YouTuber. I'm trying to show you guys. It's not because I would do it at all. So yeah, if anyone is wondering whether something's worth buying out and want to know my opinion, I don't think anything is. I think you should play. But I mean, different people play differently, and some people want everything first. So I understand that also. Um, Richard said, "Do you have a Star Sapphire toon? If so, what power did you give her?" I don't have a Star Sapphire toon. I have a character called Shattered Shifter who has one armory that is Star Sapphire. A Star Sapphire, but she also plays as a bunch of different characters. Like she's got a Donna Troy build on there. I think I've got a Spider Girl build on there. I've got Ivy on there. Like she plays a few different things. But if I was to choose a Star Sapphire power set, I would go with Sorcery. I think the color is as close as you're going to get. It's a healing, which makes sense, I think. And yeah, at the moment, that's probably what I would choose. Also, it has a lot of like projectiles for that power set, which you can easily do with light as a power set. So yeah, I would go with Sorcery if I was doing a Star Sapphire toon. Nappy said, "Sorry, yeah, North America." Oh, that's fine. It was a hi to Dennis. Think my chat mixed around on your screen. Oh yeah. So sometimes the chat for me is in one order and for other people is in a different order. Also, sometimes the chat for me misses some things and for other people it's seen. So if I don't read your stuff out, guys, I may not have even seen it, and I apologize. It's happened quite a bit. My mum and my brother have watched my stream, sat next to each other, and had different things on their screens during my stream, and both of them have it set the same way as I do. So I don't understand why it does that sometimes. I always make sure it's set to all messages, which is what it's set to now and has been for this entire stream. So I don't mean to miss anything if it comes up, but sometimes it does miss something, and I don't really understand why. YouTube's been a little bit finicky lately. I have comments that have been deleted from my channel from some reason that I've never been notified about. I've got chats coming in the wrong order or things missing. I don't get notified for YouTubers who I follow with the little bell turned to all, so I should get notified for all their stuff. That doesn't come up sometimes too, so I think YouTube's just having a little bit of a hard time doing all the things it's supposed to. Hopefully that doesn't last. So yeah, and also I have my videos set so there will never be mid-roll ads, but YouTube has now instigated putting mid-roll ads in my older content. They didn't even define what older content is. I don't know how many months, weeks, years it goes back to classify as older content, but if stuff is putting mid-roll ads in, it's not me, guys. I have it set not to do that, and I don't have a choice about the older content, and I don't even know which content is considered older. It's very bizarre. I really hate when I see an ad come up in the middle of a live stream that I'm doing. I'm like, that's so annoying. Then you're not live with the like timing anymore. Ugh, I don't like it. It's happened when I'm watching my own chat. I will be watching and then suddenly an ad will come up in the middle of me talking. I'm like, no. Oh, there we go. Junior said she started streaming earlier but lost connection, so she switched to this one now. That's correct. Something cut out. I'm not sure what, but we are now back. Yay! So if you want to see all of the earlier stuff to do with Valentine's event, the previous live stream is probably your better bet. This one has been us kind of just having a conversation and rambling, which we do so well, I will say. Richard said, do you have... Oh, sorry. I read that one already. Okay, Distance said, excited for new wings. Excellent. I'm glad some people are. While wish we could have gotten a Star Sapphire ring power augment. I'm kind of glad we didn't. I feel like it would be a lot for some people to level and they'd feel like they can't keep up. So I would like them to come into the game at some point. I think that having 3 in a row that quickly when we've just received the white, some people will still be leveling that when the blue one drops, and then the pink one also coming at the same time, I feel like is too much for people to try and pay into. So I'm glad they didn't do that. But yeah. He said, hoping we can get a blue beetle power augment soon. I mean, that would be fun. They are trying to, or were trying to push Blue Beetle a little bit. I'm not sure if they are now. It seems like he's kind of dropped off a little bit, but I mean, anything coming into the game new to do with different characters, I get excited about. I'm hoping that the next power array augment we receive isn't a lantern one. Just something different for the people who don't really play lantern stuff, I think would be really great. When I secretly want the Black Lantern one, but we won't talk about that. It's probably like near Halloween if we ever get that one. But yeah, I'm looking forward to whatever they add in the power array augments. I think they're fun, and a lot of people get good use out of them. Can change their power sets around with them. I think it's fun. I think it's fun. Richard said you have taught an old dog something new. Oh, you're welcome. I mean, if you always play Flight, you're not going to know, are you? Junior said, I'm sorry, I got to get ready. Hope everyone has a great day night. No problem, Junior. Thank you for joining us. I hope you also have a great day night. I don't know where you're up to. I'm guessing daytime for you. Tiny Lilith said, some styles don't look right on my Tiny Lilith character. Yeah. I think some of the different, you can tell that they've kind of made the styles to fit the medium athletic, I think, for the male and female, and then from there adjusted it down for the smaller and adjusted it up for the larger builds. In my opinion, if you choose medium athletic, that's the best fit of that style you're going to get on your character. At least it seems like it to me. I could be mistaken, but I think the styles look much, much better on characters that are athletic medium. And yeah, when you start to put them in smaller, sometimes they don't make it look quite right. Though I will say, a lot of the belts do not sit on the female characters. Any belt you see on a male character and then on a female, you can see this massive gap between her hips or waist and the belt itself. Why are there gaps? I hate that. I won't use those belts because they're just floating in the air. Richard said they had a mission duty, one of the events where you turned into Titanic Trenton. They did indeed. I believe it was for April Fool's Day, and they got you to transform into Titanic Trenton and go around and do a couple of things out in Gotham and or Metropolis. And I think you got a title, a funny title for your character when they gave us that. So yeah, a little bit of fun. And it let us have that style, I guess, and that build. But it was temporary and only existed during that period of time. But, you know, it was entertaining. The April Fool's stuff sometimes is quite fun. DC Fanverse said, I saw Meta Knight's video and she mentioned this year the Valentine seasonal expands into a new open world mission, which is the one I'm looking for. So far, it's all the old stuff. Yeah. There is no new open world mission. At least not that I've seen. We played everything that's listed here. Hang on, let me go back. We're going to read and check. But yeah, emotional baggage has always been there. That's the one I just read. Love's Battlefield is the load-in alert that we have done. Mr. Freeze has nearly completed integrating the Star Sapphire's crystal technology into his own. Head into Gotham Mercy Hospital and protect him from the Star Sapphires while he completes the upgrades. That's the villain version. Then get your heart racing. Head to Metropolis, race against others in the Valentine's-themed multiplayer movement challenge. I didn't. I've raced against myself. But yeah, those are not new. Is maybe in the journal? No? How about On Duty? On Duty has the Valentine's tab. The only thing that was in there was the alert. Yeah, no new mission. That's interesting. I wonder if that's a mistake or maybe it's something they intended to do and then they gave that information to Meta Knight, she put it out and they weren't actually able to do it. I'm really not sure. I just realized I've been in the League chat this whole time. There we go. Put it back to that chat. Not that usually it's not a big deal, but sometimes being in a chat where other people could potentially speak can cause like some kind of feedbacky sound or make me sound not quite clear. So I try to always go to my that chat when I live stream, and obviously when I swapped between characters I forgot to swap myself back. So I don't know if that made a difference to the sound, but hopefully it was an improvement or no difference at all. Tiny Lilith said, if you play every day, it's not that hard to do the events to get the rewards. I agree. If you are someone who can log in and play every day, you will get a good enough chunk of rewards. I mean, we did see that for my character, oh, not this character specifically, but I mean, he should have started with 0 of the currency, right? So, where are we? Hearts. He has 24 now. So he played through the open world in Gotham. He did the race, he did the alert, and he did the one that gave us 10 of the hearts, which was the Sea of Love, the Mirror Mission, whatever the Mirror Mission is called. He did that as well. And he has 24 hearts for his hard work today. Hello, Flash! That is a good-looking Flash. Beautiful. I should make sure I move this a little bit as well. There we go. So that I don't end up saying away and have my character log out. On the plus side, at least the audio would keep going, because it would just go to the character selection screen. Richard said, do you think a Star Sapphire would be a controller? I don't know. I think that because I would have gone with sorcery for it, I think the healing makes sense for them. Because, I don't know, they're kind and loving and would try to help people. I don't know. Maybe that's just all in my own head. I've always thought of them as healer, but I could be mistaken. I mean, White Lantern and Blue Lantern are clearly healer, right? So, controller at least would be my second choice if it wasn't healer. I can't say that I've really thought about it because I have never created an actual Star Sapphire character. I've just done the style on a different character, which I think that character happens to be Celestial, if I'm not mistaken. But the power set doesn't make sense for every single style that I have on there. I just have a whole bunch of different styles that I use on there, and the loadouts are what they are. But yeah, I guess I never really thought about it. Giving people power? Maybe. Actually, you're kind of convincing me with only one question. You're kind of convincing me there. Because I look at blue and white and think, yeah, that's a healer. And I don't think that love is exactly the same. Ugh. Thanks a lot, Richard! Now I'm questioning myself. Oh, Nappy said healer. Yeah, see, that's what I've always thought, but I never really thought about it in comparing it to white and blue. And when I compare it to white and blue, I think white and blue are healer more so than I would think for pink. Richard said, I guess if they make a power augment for Star Sapphire, it could be any power. It could be anything. We don't know. I mean, at the moment, it seems like we're getting, we got the blue one, which seems to be very, very heavily healer. The white has a little bit of everything going on in it. It's got like one loadout that works for every single build type, which is very nice. Not that the blue doesn't also do that. It does have stuff that works for other builds, but it's got a clear healer ability. It's got a healing field ability, which I think is very handy for anyone who plays healer, particularly if you play electric. It can change the entire way you play by adding that into your electric build. But yeah, for pink, I don't know. I don't know where they're going to go with it. I'm curious to see because, I mean, they've chosen a healer ability to be their first respec for power set, which was water. Their second choice is clearly controller. So that means likely the next power set that they are going to respec will likely be a tank ability, I would assume. That would be my guess. And with what they've done with the power array augments, we've got something that worked a little bit for everybody, kind of, then something that seems very heavily a healer. So I'm guessing whatever comes in next is probably going to be controller or tank. And these guys seem to really like their battle stuff, so it'll probably work good for DPS in some way as well. They do seem to get stuff that works well for every build, but I mean, the blue does seem more healer appropriate than other ones. So I'm guessing the next will either be controller or tank. That it works better for. But I'm guessing. I don't know. This is just my own speculation based on what they've done before and the very little amount that I know about them. So, I don't know. Nappy said, we got way too many rings. Remember, people, this is DC Universe Online, not Let's Turn It into the Lantern Corps Online. Yeah, I must admit, the next power array augment they add, I hope has nothing to do with lanterns. Because, yeah, there's, even though I'm enjoying them, I'm fine with it, I do think a lot of people are a little bit tired of it. And honestly, for the narrative, I'm a little bit tired of lanterns. Can we please have something else? Because we've done 4 episodes that are very, very lantern heavy. I don't know that it would bother me too much if we ended up with a lantern power array augment, but it would probably bother me if the next 4 chapters in the next story arc were once again lantern. It's been so much. I've had enough for the moment. Please give me something else, Justin said, so are there an item shop this year? There is an item store. It has various items from this particular year, including like 15 different carpets, 3 pictures, and a statue for your base, a Nora capsule for your base, and Carol Ferris for your base. Plus there are 2 auras that you can receive as well. I showcased them in my first half of this live stream before everything dropped. So it goes on my previous live stream. The beginning is playing through the villain side of Valentine's. The next section is having a look at all of the items that you can get from the vendor. Third section is my hero playing through it, and then there's a little bit of chat after before it dropped. So if you do want to see all of those items, the first live stream I did it showcases all of them, every furniture piece and the 2 auras that we receive. So yeah, hopefully that's helpful. And this character doesn't have them. It's on my main character, but I swapped to my dragon. I could potentially go over to my other character and hop back into my showcase base so that we can showcase them while we're chatting, which I think I will do because there's quite a few more comments. I'm gonna swap. I'm sorry, Mum. Bye. we'll go back over to my hero and I will jump into the base so that you can have a look at those items while we chat away. It's a little bit easier than trying to scroll through a stream and find the correct position to find the information you're looking for. Nappy, oh no, I read that one. Richard said my blue beetle is V quantum. What's V quantum mean? Or is that's probably a typo? Is quantum? I guess that makes sense. It's an interesting one, isn't it? Because none of the power sets really match exactly what he does. But yeah, quantum is a good choice, I think. All right, I will turn off my UI so that you are able to see everything that I have here. You can see we've got a statue, a Carol Ferris who stares directly into your soul. It's very, very off-putting. We've got artwork on the wall as well that we have received from this vendor. We've got a new dining table, which is very similar to the old one, but I do think I like it a little bit more. It's a little more cozy. And then obviously we've got Nora, who is inside of her tube there, and like a billion carpets. So many carpets! The carpets are everywhere. I'm actually really glad they gave us so many different carpets because it gives you the opportunity to get the right shape, the right color. It's handy, and I'm really glad they gave us black because I feel like red and pink are a little niche, that not every base is going to work well with them. Black kind of goes with everything. Right? That you can't go wrong having a black one. It's not going to clash, right? And then obviously there's a black version of the square one as well, which is here. Richard is asking how much was the Ferris statue? I think it was 37, no, 18. Carol Ferris and Dana, I forgot what your name is. I'm going blank. They were both 18, I believe. In fact, let's go back to the vendor and we will have a look at the exact prices. I don't think I wrote them down because we did go to the vendor and have a look there, didn't we? Yeah. Oh, it's a Predator. Predator statue? Predator. Right. Oh, jeez. I remember things. Let's go. I will go to the vendor. We'll go through the prices again, and then I'll come back here so people can have a look at them while we are chatting. Nappy said, too bad though. I think this may be the last DC event until I upgrade to PS5. Sony shutting down PS4 support in spring. Oh, really? Interesting. I did not know that. All right. Here we go. So, Carol Ferris. Oh, wait, you asked for Carol Ferris, not Nora, didn't you? I'm so sorry. Carol Ferris currently 75. Keep in mind, for the very first week, we've got a discount. Okay, hang on. It says Predator. Oh, I just realized what the joke is, DC. Okay, Carol Ferris. It will go up in price when we hit the second week. I'm going to say it's probably going to be 100 because they said 25% discount. So it's 75 at the moment for the first week. And then second week, everything takes the discount off. So please keep that in mind. The Predator statue and the Nora cryogenic tube both were 18. Everything else was 7. Which is good because like the Amorous table was 7, right? Where is that? I feel like I went past it. It was probably in between the two. It is. It's in between the two. That's 7. That's a nice table. It's a nice table. I remember when these things used to be 6, though. You know, when they weren't on a discount. That was just their standard price. All right. I will head back to my base. Showcase base. There we go. Where was I up to? Richard said I was unhappy with the tool shoulders float above the chest. Do they? I know that I showcased those, but I don't remember them floating, but that's pretty bad. I mean, we have a cape currently in the Superman Kryptonian, hang on, Absolute Kryptonian capsule that I understand the concept that it's supposed to be something that has kind of an AI to it and it moves in conjunction with an intelligence rather than something that moves like an actual fabric. But every picture I have looked at since of Absolute Superman with this cape, it is actually sitting on his shoulders, the way a cape normally does. And the item that we've received in-game sits like it has 2 little pieces at the front of the shoulders that are attached and the whole rest sticks up in the air before it goes down at the back. It's not touching the shoulders or the neck of the character, and on my female character in particular, when it's not enhanced, it looked very, very weird and I didn't like it. The enhanced version is a little better because the glowiness to it kind of hides the fact that it's lifted so high off my character's shoulders. but I still find it bizarre that it's lifted so high. I know that, I don't remember who it was, but someone was playing with us on Multiverse's live stream for Live at 5, or it could have been during one of my streams, I'm not sure. They had put the Dark Raven shoulder pieces on underneath it to, I don't know if their intention was to hide the fact that there's a massive gap, but it worked. It hid the fact that there was a massive gap, and that's probably what I'm going to do in my utilization of it in the future, because it hides that. I think some of the style pieces don't seem to function exactly the way that they are meant to. And yeah, that's one of the pieces that I find an odd choice. Nappy said, see, a scarab would have made more sense as a power array augment for back. Especially for Blue Beetle. It makes sense. Nappy also said, we got way too many... Oh, don't, I read that one already. Why is it twice? Did you... Maybe he wrote it twice. Nappy said, too bad though. I think this may be the last... That's twice too. What happened? Everything's going double. I even have tool shoulders with saw blade again. Okay, but yeah, Richard said the tool shoulders was the saw blade. I remember that sticks up around the shoulder. I thought they were on my character's shoulders, but I'm not 100% sure. DC said, Flash says hi. Yes, he did! Was that your character? He looked great, by the way. DC Fanverse also said Star Sapphire should be a controller. There you go. You and Richard definitely agree on that one. Richard said she's a lantern. Who? Carol Ferris? Was that when I mixed up Carol Ferris and Nora for a second? I'm so sorry. I do actually know who they are. I just for a second thought you meant Nora. I think probably because that's what was on my screen in front of me when I read the question out. I don't know. DC Fanverse said, any story you see, they are mesmerizing their guys and trapping them, controller easy. Oh, that's a fair point. That is a fair point. Okay, you guys are convincing me very easily. I'm highly susceptible to this. Richard said, any story you see... Oh, sorry. I would like to see a survival mode vendor to buy Thor Lantern base items. I mean, I think survival mode has gone. It seems to be permanent, so I'm hoping that the rewards you could get from survival mode, I mean, a couple of them have come back into the game in various ways, but kind of hoping that there will be some way that people are able to go and actually get the items from that. Hopefully not as something that they add to the Imp Mart. I'm kind of, you know, they keep adding things to the Imp Mart at a very high price. It's hitting hard on the wallet, guys, just a little bit. So I'm hoping they don't do it that way, but I mean, that's better than nothing. If people do want those items, having them available some way to them will be good. But yeah, it's a little bit sad to see so many cool style pieces be kind of locked behind a wall at the moment. So I'm hoping they do bring those back. Also, Thor base items would be great. Amazing choice. Distance said, I had an idea. Multiversal Mr. Freeze, who had a base full of Noras from the multiverse, kind of like Brainiac. So you'd get like a whole bunch of this base item and just put them everywhere? Crazy! You know, if you could put it inside of an armory and then chuck a style over the top, you could create a different looking Nora for each universe. That's a lot of work, though. Your toon would have to have a whole bunch of different styles on. How would that work if you're playing Mr. Freeze, though? You'd have a male form with female stuff on it. It might not look quite like Nora. Richard said, how much was the Ferris statue? Yeah, so I'm so sorry. The Ferris statue was 75. Nora and Predator were both 18. Oh, and DC Vanverse earlier said, that's Alien, not Predator. It went straight over my head for like, I don't know, 30 seconds before I realized what you were saying. I'm so sorry. DC said, the Nora base item is cool. I will be a sinister kidnapper, kidnapping women, Jack the Ripper. Oh, that sounds horrible. Horrible! But, I mean, at least you now have some pieces that you can use for it. Andrew said, how long you been playing this? Over 6 years now. So when we hit October, that was my 6 years. So now we're beyond that, 6 years and a few months. And I started on Switch. I played Switch for over 3 years before I went across to Xbox and I went across to PlayStation. I've always been a PlayStation player. I started playing this on the Switch specifically because that's where my best friend could play. We played this game together on there. Then he had an Xbox, so I went to Xbox as well. I got a really good secondhand one, which was lovely. And then, yeah, my PlayStation has always been here. So eventually, PlayStation was it as well. And now I play everywhere. Though I will say I play more consistently on PlayStation than anywhere else because there are more players here to play with. Yeah, I still love my character on the Switch, but which has been quite laggy with DC for quite some time. And the Shock to the System episode in particular is a little bit unplayable over there, so it's a little bit tricky. Richard said, yes, Carol, I'm so sorry. I know who Carol is, I know who Nora is. I just had a momentary brain asleep moment. I don't know. Um, Jar said, what are you playing on? At the moment, I'm on PlayStation on the EU server. EU server is where reset has already occurred and we're able to see everything for Valentine's. When the reset occurs for Switch, Xbox, and for the US server, then you guys will have access to it too. I know that some people see that as unfair, but guys, we get 12 hours, I think it's 12 hours. We get it 12 hours ahead of you. We also lose it 12 hours sooner. So we get the same amount of time to play it. It's just a matter of them doing the reset at an appropriate time when there's the least amount of people on that particular server. So if they chose to reset our server at the same time as the US, the Xbox, and the Switch, they would lose out on a bunch of playtime because there's a lot of people who play during the time that downtime would happen. They're trying to pick the best time of day to do it. So yeah, I'm on the EU server today, but as for where I play everywhere. I have an account everywhere, I have characters everywhere, and we live stream on US, EU, and Xbox server as a group. I'm trying to work out a way to do it on Switch, but it's a little bit more fiddly, and I haven't had a lot of time to do that. Which, you know, with the one person in my chat who's a Switch player, he has been very gracious and understanding about that. Nappy said, right, got to go. I'll drop by later if you're streaming. Take care. You all loved the stream. Thank you so much for joining us, Nappy. That was very nice of you. Richard said, you can use the Nora in the teleporter instead of a mist device. Awesome. Yes. Yes, you can. That's what I'm thinking. I feel like I have not good uses for this piece. I'm gonna make it funny instead of mean. Instead of sad, sorry. Because it's sad, right? That she's stuck inside of a capsule like this. Awful, but I think I'm gonna make it funny. Dallas said the game runs great on Switch 2, by the way. I'm not keen, I mean, I'm not going to purchase a Switch 2 anyway, just because I don't play on the Switch as much, but I don't like the Switch 2 very much because their user agreement, and because the upgrade in hardware that we're getting for the next PlayStation and Xbox is very, very new hardware, and what they've put in the Switch 2, in my opinion, seems like it's still old. Also, because I've had a little bit of issue with the way that it runs for things on the Switch with Shock to the System. It makes me not really excited about trying to get a device that is portable to try and fix that situation. If Nintendo does come out with a solid at-home console, potentially, I might try and see if that's worth putting my money or effort into. A lot of the consoles I own, I have received secondhand, rather than buying them brand new. But yeah, I don't know that I want to go from a handheld to another handheld with hardware that's not that great, and with a user agreement that seems more like I'm renting the ability to use the console rather than that I own it. So yeah, the Switch 2 has been quite a deterrent for me to try and do anything with Nintendo at this point. Dallas said, just because the game runs way better on Switch 2, would not be surprised if they stopped support for the game on Switch 1 soon, and it's only been on Switch 2. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either. Look, I'm not going to lose sleep over it if that does happen. My favorite character is on there. I love her. I will still have my account. It will still exist if Nintendo ever brings out a better console to run DCUO. Potentially I will reaccess her, but I'm not going to be getting a Switch 2. I mean, unless something changes. Distance said, to be fair, I understand the confusion. Carol isn't a statue, she's a living NPC, while Nora and Predator are completely still. Yeah, maybe, but I mean, if I was looking at Nora and then Richard said Carol Ferris, I still should have been like, that's not Carol Ferris. Right? I should have known. I should have known! I don't know. I'm, it's late, guys, okay? That's gonna be my excuse. It's late and I haven't had dinner. Those are my excuses. At least we got there in the end, right? I worked it out. Dallas said, hopefully by the end of this year, all platforms will be on one server. That's the hope, one day at least. Lol, see what I did there, hope. I do see what you did there. I mean, I do think there's potential for EU and US to merge. That's why I say anyone who plays both servers on one account, please make sure you only have the maximum amount of characters spread between the two in case they ever do that so you don't lose any of your characters. But I don't think the Switch. I mean, with Switch 2, maybe they've changed it, but on the Switch 1, what you are able to see in game on there compared to what you see on PC, PlayStation, and Xbox is very different. They have removed a lot of the decorations and things that they put into the game for ambience on the Switch so that it can run smoother with less to render. And there's a lot more rendered stuff that goes on the PlayStation, the PC, and the Xbox because those are consoles or a computer that can handle that sort of thing. The Switch can't. I don't know if the Switch 2 suddenly can, but from what I read of its specs, it doesn't sound like they're going to do that. It sounds like they've still got all of that stuff removed for the Switch 2. But yeah, I could be mistaken. I have only read. I haven't actually done it myself. So if you've done it yourself, maybe they have all of the decorations and extra pieces in that give us the ambience that could not render well on the Switch. But yeah, I don't know. Muhammad said, how's the new Psychonic? Oh, Superman Iconic. I find it really fun. I will say, I got really excited about it when I was watching Greg DeLuca's live stream. I, I popped in, he got the iconic ability, and he was so excited about it. He was using it on a healer, functions great on a healer. It was very entertaining, and then I got excited too. I have enjoyed playing it. I think it's really fun. I have it as my supercharge that I use on my tank build. But where are my loadouts? Yeah, hang on. Let me turn my UI back on. But I prefer the Bat Swarm for my supercharge on, I think this is the character that has it too, right? Yeah, on my damage build. I find this one much more easy to use, I think because it does the directional cone of bats first, so I can aim specifically for the boss, and then it does the AoE ability after that, whereas the Superman ability is a immediate AoE. It's not bad, like it's strong, it's great, but I like the directional way that I can use the Bat Swarm over that one for my damage build. For my tank build, I prefer the AoE, because obviously all the enemies are up against my character because I'm trying to taunt them all. So I like it, I think it's really fun. I don't think any of these iconic abilities from the capsules are game breakers. I could be wrong. I obviously am not an elite player. I don't have end game on anything here. I play for fun. I do the best that I can. I'm not trying to be the best of the best. But as far as I can tell, you don't need these to be the best of the best, which is something I kind of appreciate. Though I have seen quite a few YouTube videos where people will say, it's a must-have, or this is like the OP item, or OP power for the game. I don't see it in my gameplay. I don't see it with people who are utilizing it. I don't think it's something where people have to feel like they're missing out if they don't have it. Your build isn't inferior because you don't have it. That being said, they're fun. They are really, really fun to use. And the Superman one, I have enjoyed quite a bit. And I have it permanently on my tank build for this character. So, yeah. Distance said, true, I'm holding out for Nintendo... I don't know, NS2 OLED or something. As in a second handheld for an OLED? I'm not sure. But yeah, something about the way that the wording of the user agreement is for that console, for the Switch 2, I don't like. I don't like. It's an interesting way of wording it, and it makes it seem like I'm renting a console and that it doesn't belong to me, and I don't like that very much. And yeah, I would probably wait for Nintendo to bring out an actual at-home console that has strong enough hardware or newer enough hardware to handle DC better. It would take a very big change for the Switch 2 to be something I would consider buying. Richard said, I have 28 tunes with multiple alts. The Nora base will be expensive for Mr. LOL? Who's Mr. LOL? I don't know. Only 28 tunes? That's not enough. He said, me, I do not spell check, Sam I am. That's okay. We get there in the end. As long as we get there in the end, it's fine. My phone likes to autocorrect to words that I've never used before, so I understand. Dallas said, I was hoping we would get Carol as an ally. Yes, so was I, for the Valentine's Day event reward, maybe next year. I mean, I was hoping this year we'd get Carol first, and next year we'd get Power Array Augment Ring. But clearly we didn't get either of those. We got some wings. For me, it's nice. I will play less on because I have multiple accounts because we do from 0 to 30 character creations, and obviously I can't do that all on one account. I'd run out of space. So I have multiple accounts that I play on to be able to do that. My other accounts that aren't my main, I will not be getting these wings. Wings is something I don't have to get, so at least I will get a little bit of a break from playing across different accounts for the rewards. So it's nice for me. I don't know if it's nice for everyone else, but it's nice for me. If you do want a break from DC, I would say this event is a good time to do so. The wings, it's a cosmetic thing. It's not something that's going to change your gameplay. It's not a power array augment. It's not an iconic ability. It's not elite henchman. It's not an elite orbital. I think you're pretty safe. If you do need a break, this is a good time. Richard said Bizarro Augment, Fire Breath, Freezing Vision, Jackhammer. Yes, I think that would be really nice to see. A lot of people have been asking for the reverse of the Superman ones for the Bizarro stuff for a little while. And yeah, Fire Breath would be great. Freezing Vision would be great. I would love that. And honestly, I think for a lot of different iconic characters, having the Jackhammer ability is something that we can put on all of our toons would be really handy, because it's the only way we can really showcase through gameplay, especially when in battle, that our characters have super strength. So that would be really nice. That is conversation amongst you guys. Distance said, been waiting for a Biz artifact for so long, but Power Array would be cool too. I mean, I think that the artifacts and the Power Array augments are a little bit different from, like, they're quite a lot different from one another, right? It's interesting too, because sometimes you have to choose, is it better that I get the extra abilities, or is it better that I have my artifacts making everything stronger? I don't know. But yeah, I think if they bring Bizarro in, something Bizarro in, I think I would prefer a Power Array, because I'd rather get 5 abilities that are relevant to him than get an artifact that potentially only has 1 ability or none that work. Because how else are we going to get both freezing vision and fire breath? They're not going to put both of those in one artifact. At least I don't think so. And frankly, I think they should just add something that is similar to or exactly the same as Jackhammer in the iconic abilities, and then maybe give Earth something extra to compensate for the fact that everyone now has that, or make it different. Make sure the Jackhammer ability is in some way different from the Earth version. Can you imagine if you had Earth and you end up with Jackhammer you already have, plus one that you receive as part of the Bizarro artifact or Power Array augment? That'll be fun. That'll be fun. Jackhammer is the best ability on Earth. I love it. Tiny Lilith said, what I want is Kryptonian augments next. I mean, I'm hoping that the next story arc, I keep going to say episode because of what they used to be called, chapters in the story arc, is something non-Lantern, and I would love Kryptonian. I mean, they're bringing out the Supergirl movie. Surely they should be focusing on that, but I don't know. They said that it takes them about a year to organize a new narrative. So if that's the case, this would have been something they planned for before Absolute, before the Supergirl movie, which means it may have nothing to do with either of those things. It would be nice if it was something Kryptonian, though. So many people, I mean, Superman is like the face of DC for characters with the exception of Batman. There are some people who much prefer him, but it would be nice if it went to that. I would love that. Dallas said it would be great to see Carol as an ally for next year's Valentine's Day event reward. I think it would be fitting for sure. I agree. I think it's a very good choice if we ended up with her for an ally. There's so many characters I would love to see as allies, but I'm really happy to see that they're doing the alt kicks. Very curious to see how they function, but at least it seems like we're going to be able to style a different character of ours and use that as the one we summon. Hopefully we can assign it to a specific armory that we have, and you'll be able to summon whoever you like that you have created yourself. And I think it's really smart because it's something everyone wants to be able to do, but it's smart for them as well, because how many of us are going to be looking for particular styles for our other characters so we can summon them? I'm going to be doing it. I'll be unlocking with replay badges for some of them too, and that's smart because that's money that the developers get, right? Yeah. Distance said with alt kicks. Oh, he literally brought it up. If we made a Nora tune with 16 armories and Nora base items for the different styles, then give base permissions to Mr. Freeze tune, call each other as old kicks. Yes, please. Love that. I'm a little bit like, I don't think anyone else is going to have this problem. This is a me problem. Having multiple accounts means that I have spread out my characters across different places. So my Rogue and my Storm are on different accounts. My Spider Girl and Spider Man are on different accounts. I can't summon them. Like, I ruined it. I ruined it. I didn't know this was going to be a thing, though. It was an accident. I mean, on the plus side, my two Star Trek characters are both on Xbox, so they can summon each other, so that works out. But I'm gonna have to fiddle around with getting the right characters to be able to summon the right other characters now, because I have messed myself up for that with the different locations that I have my characters on. I'll work it out. It'll be fine. But for right now, I'm like, how is this gonna work? I can't summon my Spider-Man with my Spider-Girl. You know, just mildly upset about it. Distance said, yep, switch to... Oh, good, it was correct. I need to check that new hang on, wordage? The new wordage. It's okay, I'm just tired. I'm probably just misreading things. I'm sure what you said was correct. Well, you did, like, an N, yeah. N for Nintendo, S for Switch, 2 OLED. I get it. I'm half asleep. Dallas said we need more villain allies, to be honest. Yeah, I think that they lean heavily into the hero stuff more so because, oh, I did it again. Because there are just more heroes that play the game. I mean, we just received 3 absolute time capsules that are all heroes. And a lot of us are sitting here waiting to see if they're going to give us an absolute villain. And I really doubt it. I think they're going to do the 3 mains and they're going to move on to something else that is either not absolute or is not a villain at least. And that it kind of sucks. There's a lot of people who do love the villain side stuff, and even if they did 3 for the heroes and 1 for the villains, at least give them something, you know? And it seems like they lean way more into the heroes than the villains at this point. And a lot of the storylines that we have now, in fact, all the storylines we have now, the heroes and villains are doing the exact same missions, and they're very hero-centric. We're not really doing villain stuff, because you can picture a villain potentially turning good for a little while to help. It's very, very rare for a hero to go and do a bad thing and come back. So, yeah, at least compared to villains doing something good and then backtracking. So, I get it, but it would be nice. It would be nice if there was a little bit more villain stuff in here for the people who really do like that. Dallas said, I want Power Ray based on Beast Boy. Oh, yeah, that would be cool, transforming into different creatures. Like a T-Rex. I mean, we kind of have it, right? They've already given us the plant ability that's like a combination of Poison Ivy and Beast Boy. You can do transformations into, I think, 4 different forms. You've got Gorilla, Werewolf, Insectoid, and Dog, I believe. So, I mean, that's at least good, but I think if they gave us a Power Ray ring and we had a whole bunch of other forms that gave us some interesting abilities, that would be really, really fun. Sounds a little cumbersome, but I would love it. Richard said, Bizarro world, everybody wins. Black Adam is an anti-hero ally. A little bit. I play a hero and I'm summoning Zod. Like, if they give us ones that have the highest damage output, I summon them even if it doesn't make sense, so I'm summoning Zod. Mind you, my main tune obviously is not an iconic character. She is someone I have made up, so summoning Zod for her really isn't that big of a deal. But for other characters where I actually want high damage output on my ally I summon, and they're heroes summoning Zod, I find it really bizarre. It's not accurate! I end up summoning different things and I don't do the most damage output, because I like to summon people who actually make sense. Dallas said, I don't like that villains are anti-heroes basically now. Yeah, they've really changed the genre. And, I mean, I find it interesting, right? Fascinating. The way that they portray villains as thinking, the things that motivate them. I really enjoy, and I know I've said this many times, the Harley Quinn and Joker relationship, where you've got an intelligent person who's been manipulated, and this person who is uncaring and selfish, but has this particular behavior about him and way of looking at the world. They're fascinating. They're interesting. They're entertaining. And I enjoyed it. It was something to watch and enjoy and read. And now they're all the same. And they're all anti-heroes. And it's not fascinating to me anymore. It's not as enjoyable to watch anymore. So I don't. And it seems like a lot of the storylines, agenda might be the wrong word, all of the storylines are changing to accommodate this new anti-hero, or heroes being more central to what's going on, and giving them all of these motivations that are supposed to justify choices they're made, instead of them really genuinely making not very good choices because of who they are, and I don't like it. I don't enjoy it as much. It's not something I find as interesting as I did before. And I find people fascinating, and I know they're not real people, but they're interesting, and it's just all gone. It's gone. There's not a lot of villain stuff going on. Distance said technically the Superman TC we get Raz Talia styles two between their weapon and helmet. Really wonder what three villains they'll choose. Yeah, I think it's interesting that I guess it can't be Joker, right? I really want it to be the Joker. I like the Joker. The Joker from Absolute, though, is like a vicious monster looking thing, and I don't think they can do that. There's some of the villains that are in Absolute where the pieces are going to be too bulky to be able to fit on our current forms in the game, and it seems like it was going to be too difficult for them to incorporate it. So I don't think that's going to happen. But yeah, I'm curious to see what they do bring us, if they bring us anything villain related. But frankly, I think they're probably going to do a capsule that has nothing to do with villains. Probably nothing to do with Absolute after this would be my guess as well. I don't know. Um, Tiny Lilith said it's the same way in Star Trek Online. They only make ships and styles for the Federation. Yeah, see? Why no Klingon vessels? None of the Romulans. Yeah, they go with the majority and just keep making that. It's a little bit sad. Thomas says, silence, the Owlman has... Hang on. The Owlman asks, how often do you stream from the US server? It's not exact, but basically I stream every 2 weeks. Every now and then one will be brought forward and we'll have a 2 week gap and we'll do two in a row, that sort of thing. But it goes US, EU, Xbox. So it ends up being 6 weeks in between each usually. That's for our just normal stream where we get together and everyone runs content, usually the newest episode load-ins and the open world bosses. But then if we have an ultimate recruitment event, we cram them all into the month. So we get US, EU, and Xbox done in there and make sure everyone gets it done so that everyone has the opportunity to go from 0 to 30 in one sitting. But sometimes it's a little flexible as well. If something new is happening in the game, I will go to that server and play that new thing. But at the moment, I can say absolutely every 6 weeks, sometimes sooner. But yeah, because I play across all three servers, I have wondered if I should try and increase my live streaming. But honestly, if I increase my live streaming, it decreases my videos. So I might put up a poll and see what people think about that, because I really love creating my videos as well. But I can't do both. I have a particular amount of time that I can get stuff done, and I can't really edit how much I can do. I can edit when I do it, like I can work around different times to add things in and pull it there and then do something else later. That can work, but I can't really add a lot to it. So I don't want to take away my videos if like people enjoy them. I enjoy them. I like making videos. It's so much fun. But yeah, there is quite a large gap in between each stream that we do per server. Even though I do stream every 2 weeks. Richard said Zod works good for firepower. Yes, he does. Tiny Lilith said it's simple. They just can't do heroes and villains like that anymore. Yeah, that's exactly what it seems like, is they can't do it anymore. Distance said that Demon Joker maybe as a skin. I mean, they'd have to like make skins in the game, because at the moment we have 6 set, or not even 6 because you can mix and match, but we have set forms and all of the styles are edited to function on all of those forms that we have available in game. If they were going to give us skins, it would be something completely separate, maybe something we purchased from the marketplace that overrid our styling. But a skin also would negate any adaptability in the style. If you wanted to change one thing, you couldn't if it was a skin. So I don't know that that's something they'd be particularly looking at, but considering how much versatility there is with the styling in this game, it's one of the things that a lot of people really like about playing this. So I don't know if they would do it, but I do know there's a lot of people who are wishing, and probably not getting their hopes too high, that a Joker capsule would be next for Absolute, but I don't think so. I don't think so, even though I do want it as well. I don't think it'll happen. Dallas said it's funny how over 60% of the players are heroes. That's a big difference. Yeah, the majority of players are definitely heroes. I think it's more than 60%. I could be mistaken, but when I first started to play, we looked it up to see whether we should pick hero or villain in order to be able to get more playability out of the game, and everywhere recommended you should pick a hero. But yeah, I think that percentage has actually increased for heroes on recently. I can't tell you an exact number though, because I don't have it in front of me. Distance said, oh, there we go. Yep, 67 to 33 apparently. Any game that offers the choice, that's generally the split. Yeah, I think that's more accurate to what it is. More like a 67% hero, 33% villain. Yeah, that sounds more right to me. But again, I don't have it in front of me. Just so you know, I'm not quoting something I have that I can say with certainty. But as far as I can remember, the last time I looked it up, it was closer to that than a flat 60. So yeah, anyway, I think I've hit the bottom of the chat too. You know what's really funny? Every time I come to showcase something, we end up in a really lovely long conversation, and I lose track of time. Did you know it's nearly, it's past 11:30 p.m. for me. When did I start this? At like 8? I don't know. But it's lovely, because so many of you have really great opinions, and I love talking with you guys. Also, you guys bring up topics that we haven't discussed before, which is nice too. Yeah, anyway, are there any other questions people have? Because, yeah, I will address those before we go. Tiny Lil said, my first character was a villain. I only have 4 heroes and the rest are villains. My first character was going to be a villain. Myself and my best friend were first going to do that. And he started creating ice, I started creating mental, and we both went, hang on a sec, this is stupid, let's look it up and check, and we found out that heroes was preferable. We negated the characters we had started creating, which we didn't finish, by the way, and when I found out he was doing ice, I was like, ooh, ice and fire would be great, so I swapped to fire, and he was like, fire would be great. I don't know what his thought process was. We both came into the game as fire heroes by accident, and it worked out great. Because we learned the game and a power set together. It was very nice. But we were originally going to be villains. And it changed based on the fact that we knew we'd get better playability out of the game by being a hero. Richard said, it's 6:36 a.m. here. See, I'm on the other side of the world. I'm living in your future. Thomas said, Silence the Owlman says he invites you to run with his hero league to run Elite on Fridays. His league's name is Alliance. Fridays are when I am doing live at 5 with Multiverse. So I don't know if that would work. Also, if you do want me running Elite, I can run Elite, just so you know. But I will warn you, I don't have an Elite build. My skill points are not all the way up like they are on my Switch. So I don't remember even how many I've got on here. Let's check. Stat points, 287, okay? Not very high at all. My artifacts, I'm pretty sure I only have 3 to Wolfpack. All the way to 200. Yeah, 3 of them that are there. So my build is not ideal for Elite content, and I don't want to annoy anybody by playing it with people who want to have full builds when I do play Elite. I do appreciate the invite though, but yeah, I'm on Multi's stream on Fridays, which is actually my Saturday morning. So live at 5 for him is 9 a.m. for me on Saturday. Oh, he also said, did I miss some of it? I did. He said the Owlman has run with you on multi-stream on Fridays. His league's name is Alliance. I'm lost now. Do you want... Hang on. On multi-stream on Fridays, is that not when you're saying that you run Elite? Or are you saying that you want me to run Elite with you because you've played with me on multi-streams on Fridays? I'm lost! I'm lost. Look, I am more than happy to join in with other people's content that they play. I find it really fun. It's a matter of finding the time that I'm available to do so. I can't remember who it was. Someone got really lucky. I just finished recording all of my content and he goes, hey, can you help us run Elite? I think it was Book of the Black. And I was like, you actually caught me at the perfect time. Sure, I'll run it. So they needed a tank, and my tank is even worse than my damage build, but we got through the Elite content just fine. It was really nice, but catching me at the right time is tricky. I'm a busy person. A lot of the times when I do content with other people, it's because we've planned the time so that I can do it. So just so you're aware. But I do appreciate the invite. I definitely wouldn't say no. But please do be aware if you're running Elite stuff. Be aware my character is not built for Elite. She can run it, but if people want a perfect build, the ideal build, she's not it. She's not it. Dallas said, now it's nice that it does not matter. What doesn't matter? Oh, he said whether or not you're, whether you are a hero or not. I mean, I like that for the sake of playability, I like that we have factionless leagues. I like that the heroes and villains can group together in open world, particularly if we have the same mission. I like that when we queue up, we can queue up as a group now. So I find all of those things to be very helpful for gameplay purposes. I have nothing against that. And if you're someone who plays a villain or plays a hero and does not want to work with the other faction, you can make that choice. You can have a league that is heroes only. You can group with heroes only if you so desire. Like, it's a choice now. I quite like that. But I think it's also encouraged people to potentially make more villains this way, because if you create a villain, you can still run the content because you can group with heroes now. So maybe we'll see some people creating villains for that reason, but I don't think the increase is enough to be anything other than mildly negligible. But yeah, I must admit, I think the changes that they made with the factionless leagues and the ability to group together, queuing up together, I think that is a good change. I think that helps to make the game more playable for a lot of players, especially newer players, because there's some people in the game who are kind of gatekeepery, won't allow those people to play stuff. It makes it a little bit easier when they don't have to worry about the factions, and also you don't have to worry about the quantity of players inside a load-in any longer. So anything that makes it easier for people to play together, I'm happy with. Distance says, always wonderful catching your streams. Ah, oh, thank you. 11:30. Gotta get dinner soon. I'm thinking I might just skip dinner today. Maybe have a drink of water, fix up everything on my computer, and then try and get some sleep. Distant also said, I also started a fire hero, still my main. Yay! Fire is, at the moment, because they are respecing all of the power sets apparently, or a chunk of them, Fire has been the easiest one to use as a soloist, which is my favorite thing about the Fire power set. It's why I still use it, even though there are other ones that I think are just as fun. In order to play stuff by myself, my Fire character is very, very self-sufficient. But with all of the changes that they're making, with the new power array augments that give everyone the access to healing abilities, with the new respecking of the power sets that they're doing slowly but surely, Fire may no longer be the best thing to choose for soloing. So I'm curious to see how that goes, but I'm not changing! Because I love Fire. But yeah. Distance said the Owlman confused Shadow now that she asked who. I'm sorry! Yeah. That joke did not go over my head. Richard said 890 skill points, her on 3 tunes. Dallas said I have 533 all my tunes. See, my Switch is where my strongest character build is. I can't remember how many stat points I have. I'm pretty sure it's under 400 though. I don't think I'm as high as some people who've been playing much longer than I have. And remember, I played there for 3 years only and then swapped over to other ones, so I'm not trying to get my feats completed on there any longer, so that she grows even more. But yeah, I enjoy completing feats and getting my stat points for sure, but because of how much time I can spend in the game and for how long I've been playing on PlayStation, which is about 2 years, so when I kind of started doing YouTube is when I really got into playing on PlayStation again, I don't have a lot of stat points. So I just like people to be aware if they're inviting me to things that they know what my character is, because yeah, I don't want anyone to be disappointed. It's like when I say if I'm inviting people to my league, be aware I'm busy. I love helping people get their characters leveled. I love helping people with their style stuff, bases, all that. But I don't have enough time to do so. So even though I love it, if you join my league, please don't expect me to be able to do it just because I know I won't be able to. And every time we do a live stream, I can certainly help then. We're live streaming, we're doing my content, it's getting done. Everyone can do from 0 to 30, or if you want to bring a character with a CR rating just over 30, I'm not fussed. Bring whoever. It's perfectly fine with me. Get your characters leveled. But I can't do it as often as I would like. So that's why I warn people about my league as well. How come you say silence every time? Is this something the Owlman does? Thomas said, silence. The Owlman has run with you on Friday on multi-stream on Fridays. Okay, I got that part now. The offer is open to you on the weekends. It can be regular if that works for you. I don't know. I doubt it can be regular, but once in a while, maybe. Maybe I can. But yeah, as I've said to a lot of people, best bet is if you ask me in the game and I have finished whatever I'm doing, then yeah, I'd probably join in for something. But a lot of the time sometimes if you see me in game, I'm often making videos or I'm prepping for something like multiverses streams. I always have to prep my style ready for the theme. Sometimes like today, I came in and I grabbed this character over to the vendor for this event. I purchased all of these items. I put all of these items out. I styled my character in this style. That's a whole bunch of stuff. Took me, I think, about an hour that I did before we even started the stream. You know, so often I'm doing that. If I don't answer you, probably I'm doing a base tour because my UI is turned off for base tours. It's also turned off for styling videos. So if I don't answer, it's not because I'm ignoring anybody. My UI is off frequently, and it's usually because I'm creating some kind of content with it. Even when I'm live with Multiverse, sometimes my UI is off so I can get photo of you guys all dancing with me. And I got video of it this time. I used it for the background footage of the age guest rewards video. So it's nice. It's nice. It gets used. Dallas said I never gatekeep people in game. Yeah, I must admit, people who watch my content don't tend to be gatekeeper people, which is really lovely. And I don't really get it, because usually the people who are gatekeeping stuff are also the people who complain about it being too easy. And I just think, you know, if you added in these people that you're gatekeeping against to your group and then you carried them, that would be harder, and also you can brag about it later and you're not excluding anyone. Right? Does that not make sense? I feel like that makes sense. But apparently no, that's not the way they think. Dallas said, as long as we can get through things, that's all that matters. That's exactly how I feel. If we can get through it, then we go for it. And yeah, I don't mind if people's tunes are, one, I don't care if you're elite. I don't care if your tune is built for endgame. I don't care if you have artifacts that are set for your character that you love that are technically the wrong one that you should have according to, you know, the perfect ideal build for your power set. I don't care. People want to play for fun. It's supposed to be fun. It's a game. So I really don't care what people have. We can try to get through things. If we fail together, we move on and do something else. It's perfectly fine. If we get through together, awesome, you know? So yeah, I don't really understand the gatekeepery thing very much at all, but I think I just have a very different personality from those people. Dallas said, never expect anyone to be as good as me at the game either. Just a humble brag there. I don't expect anyone to be as good as me. That was beautifully said. Thomas said, silence. The Owlman has a bunch maybe of chicks in league, and they are into fashion and base creating. Excellent. So am I. Fashion and base creating is amazing. It's a highlight of this game. It's really the end game content, really, isn't it? Styling? I feel like it is. Richard said, I would never join a league that would have someone like me as a member. LOL. So if you asked to join a league and someone said yes, you'd be like, oh, I can't be in that league because they said yes to me. You're never going to have a league except you, yourself, and you. Dallas said, especially since I play almost every day. Yeah, I also play almost every day. I try to make sure I'm getting daily rewards done. At the moment, I'm trying to play through all of the Sorrow content. What's it called? Frozen Mogo, so that I'm able to get the elite style, because it's the first style they've had that I really, really want the elite version of, so I'm doing that. But yeah, it's very rare that I take a break and don't play for a long period of time. I do decrease my gameplay for some stuff, but I love this game. Like, it's my favorite. It would take a lot for me to walk away, but I mean, if it gets to the point where the FOMO is happening more so than the enjoyment and the fun, that's where I probably would. But at this stage, that's not the case. To be honest, it's not even close. There's more I love about this game than that annoys me about it. So, I mean, that's a good sign, right? Hopefully I'll be playing until the day it's gone. Just Mel said, Fire Players Unite! Excellent. Hello, Mel! It's nice to see you in the chat. For anyone who doesn't know, Mel does content where he's breaking down, correct me if I'm wrong, different power sets and different artifacts and different, I think you've also done the power array augments. I may be mistaken on that, but highly recommend his channel. He's very detailed. Richard sent a fire emoji. As you should. Fire is the best. Dallas said, would be cool to see some Batman content based around the Court of Owls. You are not the first person to say that one. I would love that. Batman is actually one of the first characters that I loved from DC, closely followed by Raven. So Raven is my favorite character, but Batman was my introduction to DC, and I like Batman content very, very much. So Court of Owls would be enjoyable also. Richard said, I watch all of your videos. Aww! Thank you! That's lovely. I hope you enjoy them. I hope you enjoy Future Laura, because I don't. That's not true. I find she's really fun. It's really, really fun doing the future Laura stuff. I love the editing process, even though it's a little bit longer than it is for other sort of content. So fun, guys. I love making videos. Dallas said, wonder who they are recasting to do Batman's voice in the game for future content. I don't know. He said, it's weird how so many play the game like everything is survival mode, lol. In all honesty, I think survival mode should be permanent mode for those that feel content is not challenging enough. I mean, the survival mode has to be escalated every time we level up our characters with an episode, right? Or, sorry, not episode, a chapter in a story arc. I don't know why they changed the name of that. But yeah, it would have to be escalated, and I think the reason that it's been left by the wayside is because they don't have the manpower, time, hours, whatever, maybe the skill, to keep escalating that particular part of the game any longer. So, no more survival mode at all, I guess. But yeah, I do find it really odd when people who are very, very gatekeepery about things also have complaints that they could themselves kind of remedy. You know, it's really odd to me. But that's fine. That's fine. Different people function and think different ways. I just don't understand them because I obviously function and think differently. Distance said, true, it would be easy to make Court of Owls too. We already have the Talon styles in-game and masks to put into the generic NPCs. All we need is the instances, storyline, voice acting. That is fair. There are definitely some storylines they could do that would be easier for them to create because there's already content in the game. So they could a jumping off point that they could use. Dallas said they can gatekeep all they want. It is sad. We lost the best Batman, Kevin Conroy. We will be missed, but he will live forever in game. That is fair. There's a lot of content that he has put out that... content sounds wrong. It sounds like he's a YouTuber. He has been in a lot that will live on for years and years and years, and people will remember him, which is lovely. And yeah, the people gatekeeping... Let them do what they're going to do. Walk away. It's what I say to people. If you end up with people who are gatekeepery or the aggressive elitists who are telling you what you should have on your build even though you don't want to, you know, they're like, well, you can only join us if you have this ally and this artifact and you have these loadouts because that's the best way to go. If they're doing that, just walk away, guys. It's not fun. It's not fun. Unless you're genuinely asking them, can you help me build an elite build? That makes sense. Distance said, if you ever do a contest or competition, technically Future Laura would always win thanks to time travel / magic of editing. That is true. But I also think she has probably the mentality of not wanting any prizes from me because I think she'd feel like she doesn't need anything from me. Right? That seems like something she would say. But yeah, anytime we do the competitions, I have such a great time. We have, I gave away quite a lot of things in the last competition that we did then, but I have to stockpile ready because I know there's another one coming. I don't want to say soon, but there's another one coming that I know will come. So I want to make sure I've got a bunch of cool stockpiled items ready to go for the rewards on that. They'll have to see how we go. I don't think anything is going to top the premier reward boxes that I received, but they did kind of lose a little bit of their value when they did the Impmart stuff, so a little less exciting. But still, they sell really, really nice. So if people don't need the items from them, hopefully they get a really good amount for them in-game. Dallas said there is no right or wrong way to play the game. When someone says, what's the best power to play, I always respond, the one you enjoy playing the most. Yeah, I think that's true too. I think there's some suggestions you can make, like some people will ask what's the best healer to play, and there's typically a few things you can say that are true about electric being very, very strong, or what's an easy one to play, like water is very easy to play as a healer. Also, if someone asks what's the best one if you want to solo, I always recommend fire because it's a very easy lit power set. There's no extra taps and you can self-heal as a tank. It has very good longevity. So there's some things you can say like that. But honestly, whatever you enjoy playing is what you should play, whatever you find fun, because it's supposed to be fun. You're playing a video game, you know? Richard said, you've never seen me play. I have not. I don't know what your character is or anything. Should I see you play? Is there a reason we should see you play? Are you amazing? I feel like he must be amazing. Are you very braggy? Distance said, soon, TM. Dallas said, if you are not having fun playing a power, then it's probably not the best for you. Yes, I agree with that too. I actually don't have a power set that I don't enjoy. I just have like a scale of which ones I enjoy more and which ones I enjoy least. My least favorite is definitely Atomic. There's a sound to it that I find really off-putting. It's one of the ones that has combos where I feel like I get broken out of my combo too frequently. I also feel like the combos move a little slow. And I have no problem with combos because I play Celestial. Celestial is my second favorite power set in the game. I play it as a damage. It is definitely not the strongest. It is definitely not ideal. A lot of people hate Celestial because they don't feel like it's stronger than or as strong as other DPSs. I love the way it looks. I love the way it functions. Even the extra taps don't bother me. I love Celestial. And it's definitely not what people would choose as an ideal DPS at all. The healing side of it is very functional as well, but I play it as DPS. Because that's the color that looks cool, right? The really dark purple. It's on my Future Laura character and on my Black Lantern. Oh, and also on my Raven. Um, Oh, Tiny Lil said, I don't like the power with combos. Yeah, because you have to remember what the combos are. Every time I swap to my Celestial, I have to look it up and go, okay, that's that, that's that, that's that. We have 2 trays of them now. So my entire second tray has nothing to do with Celestial because it's too many things to remember. But yeah, a lot of people don't like the combos. I do wonder if they will decrease the combos when they do respec all of these power sets because we're up to one with a lot of combos now, which is light. Curious to see if that's something they alter because at the moment, like when we had only 6 loadouts, remembering your combos wasn't too difficult, especially if you only play one tune. But now with 2 full trays, it's a little bit more tricky, but they may also look at it and go, yeah, but they're using all of the different abilities that they get from the iconic abilities and from the power array augment. That's true for people who have been able to get those. People are using them, but some people, 1, don't want to and they want to use the full light power set, or 2, don't have the iconic abilities and the power array augments because they're new to the game or couldn't play the content, and thus have to play the light abilities, which means all of those combos are a lot to remember. I don't begrudge anyone choosing not to use one with a lot of combos. I am AI said, yo, I remember this game used to play this 24/7. Welcome to my world, sir. I also used to play this 24/7. Now I play it every day for like 2 hours. um, Dallas said, I pitched this idea to the devs for a power based on Clayface where you morph into iconics and have set powers, like a set loadout based on the role, and it's random who you turn into. Oh, yeah. At first, when I was reading what you just said, I was like, I don't think they do that. I feel like that person would be overpowered. But if it's random, that's fun. I love that idea. I bet they won't do it. But that sounds really fun. Richard said, Amazo. I feel like you can kind of... There's not enough loadouts. But yeah, Amazo is also a good option. My brother would like that. Dallas said, from a preset of different iconics you can morph into, but it's always random when you use the morph ability. See, I think that's really fun. It's actually... It reminds me of a D&D... Where's my sister? I can't say too much just in case my family members who are part of this D&D group that is upcoming are watching or listen at some point. But... there's a character that someone's playing who is going to have the issue of them accidentally morphing into or transforming into something at random, and basically he's going to have to roll a dice, and I will have all the character sheets for it, and I will hand him whichever one he rolls. And he'll be stuck with that until the next time when the roll comes up, so it reminds me of that a little bit. Distance said, really hope Celestial gets simplified for sure now that there's no more power trees. I really hope it does. I hope it's one of the ones they do. Like, it seems like they're doing a healer then a controller, so probably next is a tank, but I hope Celestial is after that. Because I really love the power set, and what they did with water to the damage output on that was really strong and really, really fun to play. So I'm hoping maybe they decrease some of the combo taps and increase the effectiveness, but I'm not too fussed. Look, I enjoy Celestial now the way that it is. I don't care if I'm the strongest with my Celestial. I enjoy playing it and I have fun. And when I play with you guys, we don't care. We're all there for the fun. Oh, that is conversation amongst yourselves. I am real said, if I remember correctly, my power was electric. It is a good choice, electric. Were you playing healer or damage? I mean, both work really, really smooth. It's a really, really strong healer. I am curious to see what happens to people's builds as they start getting the Blue Lantern abilities unlocked, whether people are going to start adding that healing field to their loadouts for the electric healer, and if it's going to change the way they do their allies and artifacts. Because I don't know if I want to go and try and do all of that editing to it, because I don't play my healer very often, especially now that my mum is a consistent healer on our channel. It's not really needed, but I kind of want to play around with it because I feel like the build could definitely change. It would also make it so that if you wanted to wolf pack some healer artifacts, it could be useful for an electric build now, even if it wasn't before, because of the healing field. So I don't know. I don't know. I haven't done it myself. Maybe I should. Dallas said, watch the devs hire me. He said, I live right next to their offices in Austin, actually. Well, I mean, if they do, please take on board all of the suggestions we've had in the chat today. Distance said, very Ben 10. Yes. Yes. That's exactly what it is like. It's like Ben 10. Right? I love it. I'm looking forward to when we start doing it. I'm pretty sure no one besides the people who already know about this will watch this stream. Shouldn't ruin the D&D session, okay? It's fine. Richard has sent a wrong colored heart, sir. It's supposed to be purple. Purple hearts are the right color. It makes zero sense that they're purple, but it's my favorite color, so. But thank you for the heart. That's lovely. Dallas said, they used my ideas for Starro content years ago, and I loved the Starro content just for that reason. Oh, he might have been sending the heart because he loves Starro. Is that what that's for, Richard? I don't know. But yeah, the Starro content I enjoy playing through. And I remember the first time I was playing it with my best friend when we ran through it, like we did it a bunch of times. And every time it would be, oh, both of us, like we're a little bit sarcastic, so we're going, oh no, they're being controlled every single time. It never got old, guys. It's hilarious. But it was so often because they're all being controlled by the Starros. It was hilarious, okay? Don't doubt me. Racist said, is there a new event happening today? I'm just asking. Yes, there is. We have the Valentine's event. It should, I don't think... 12. Shutdown may have occurred for the US server already, which means that when it comes back up, you should have the Valentine's Day event. This is what it is. It's got all of the same missions that we've had for the past few years, with the exception of last year where they gave us one extra Zamaron mission that they have removed from this year. But yeah, it's all the same missions. We've got a whole bunch of stuff from the vendor that I have been able to showcase. I unfortunately this time cannot buy it out. I don't have enough money to do so, but hopefully another YouTuber has, because there are apparently some very cool wings that you can get. They did look very similar to the ones that I have on currently, with a lot more texture. Like the feathers were smaller with more texture. There was a little bit sticking out at the top, but I can't buy it out to showcase it today. I'm so sorry. But yeah, these are some of the furniture items that you can receive. Like we've got the Nora capsule just there. We've got the very romantic table. I think it was called Amorous. We've got 3 posters available as well that are romantical relevant. We've got Carol Ferris for In Your Base, and we've got Predator there as well as a statue, as well as all of these insanely huge carpets. We've got red, pink, and black. And we've got the black one over here because I couldn't fit it in the same room. But they have an interesting way of reflecting light. You can get them nice and dark, but then if you turn your camera, you're going to get light reflecting. So they go a bit lighter. I wish it didn't do that quite as much, because if they are carpet, they wouldn't reflect the light quite to that degree. And then there's like, you know, just a billion other carpet choices for you over here. Oval and circle ones in both large and small in red, black, and pink. There's too many. There's never too many. I feel like there's going to be really good use for these. Oh, my stomach just grumbled. No, we're not going to eat. We're going to sleep, body. Listen to me. Sleep is going to happen. I bet I don't sleep now. Hang on, where were we? Dallas said, back in 2016, I gave the devs a 50-page document I made with content ideas, and they actually used a few of them. So that made me happy. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, you should try and get them to hire you. Sounds like they like you. Mind you, if it was in 2016, it's a new developer team now, although I do think 2, maybe 3 of the people who are there now were also there at 2016. But a good chunk of them will no longer be the same people. Racist said, I'm unaware. Somebody please help me understand. Yeah. Oh, he said, okay, thank you for telling me. I won't repeat. We got it. Dallas said, still waiting for them to do the Easter event I came up with, where you help protect the Easter bunny from being killed by Lobo. I have actually found it surprising that there is no Easter event. Not specifically the Lobo thing, but yeah, I when we first started to play, my best friend and I, we were surprised there wasn't one for Easter. Still a little bit surprised there isn't one for Easter. Richard said, protect. I want to be Lobo in that mission. Well, that's okay. You can be a villain. That Easter bunny isn't doing us any favors either. Oh, Dallas said US is not down yet. Must be 1 a.m. that it goes down, not 12. Sorry, guys. So it's probably got another hour before it goes down, and then hopefully you receive all of the Valentine event. um, Racist said, I really appreciate that. Thank you. No problem. You're all good. If you want to see things in a bit more detail, my first stream, which cut out partway through, is the one to go to. It showcases villain's side of all of the missions. Then it showcases all of the items that you can purchase, including the auras. And then it shows you the hero side as well. And then it dropped out while we were chatting, and now we're back. Dallas said, but once it goes down, it will be up after. That's correct. So once it goes down, Switch, Xbox, and US server should all have the Valentine's event. Distance said, also, I'm not sure if it's just RNG, but during the anniversary event, I noticed Lobo around House of Legends a lot. Wonder if that means he'll be featured in an upcoming episode. And maybe in the Supergirl tie-in. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if something's going on with Lobo, because he is the main drawer of the Supergirl movie for me, and it seems like for a lot of other people as well. Distance said maybe we'll hire him to find Hope. I mean, if the blog, because we always get a fourth blog, and the Aftershock part of this particular episode, chapter, if they don't give us the conclusion to the storyline where we rescue Hope, I kind of hope if we do continue with the Hope storyline, frankly, I hope we stop. I'm kind of, please no more lanterns. But if we do, hopefully it's not lanterns. So if it was Lobo, that at least that's not lanterns, right? Mind you, when we bring her back, she's going to end up with Lutzia, right, who is a lantern, or potentially given to the Blue Lanterns, who are lanterns. So I don't know. Racist said, I wish these developers was put Lobo out there, and that would be cool. I play his single mission every day. The LexCorp Tower solo with Lobo, I unlocked his chains and his gear. That's awesome. I love his style. I use it on a couple of my main characters because it looks so cool. Love the jacket. It's so good. Richard said, what do you think the suspicious bunny shoes are? I never even thought of that until right now. That explains so much. Did you join together with Lobo to get that done? I feel like you did. Dallas said, you may not be able to be Lobo, but you can look like him with the main man style set. That's true! The belt from Main Man is the main belt that I use in the game. It is my absolute favorite belt. And I have a thing with belts because they often don't sit correctly on female characters. They have a massive gap between hips or waist, depending where it is. And they're just floating around your character's waist. I hate that. So the main man belt is actually one of my favorites because it sits correctly on the belt, on the waist. It has an enhanced version that sparkles, so you don't even need a chroma or a material for it. And it has a skull, which is awesome on my hero for some reason. A lot of my heroes end up looking like villains. Distance said, just need a Lobo skin / hair. Yeah. A Lobo skin would be nice. The hair you can kind of emulate, but still, it would be nice to have a more accurate one. Racist said, yes, I unlocked his chains and gear from just doing the solo mission. Lobo should have been spread out in this game so we can do missions. I feel this way about Joker. He said to get all of his stuff. I have his chains on the broker. They are very affordable if you want to purchase them from the broker. I'm good. But if other people are wanting to purchase, there you go. You now know that they are there. Oh, Multi. Hello, Multi. He says, I can't say it the way you say it. Lobo. No, there's no point. If you want to hear Multi say Lobo the way that he says it, you'll have to see it on his channel. Racist said, I have his chains twice. The LexCorp Tower solo is the bomb. I still play it. It doesn't require replay badges. It resets on its own. Oh, really? Oh, yeah. A lot of them reset on their own now. It's replay badges for the 3 most recent episodes only, I believe. But that was a fun one to play. I remember the time where I had to play it and wait for ages so that I could get the lava base. Takes forever. But once you've done that once, then it's fine. Tiny Lilith said most belts are too big looking on my tiny characters. Yeah, I can imagine. I do really think that they're kind of designed to fit on the medium athletic build for the male and female, and then they edit them to fit the smaller and larger characters, and it doesn't always work well. And yeah, all of your characters are tiny, so you probably have a little bit more of a struggle with your styles than I do. Racist said, Joker to that would be dope. Thank you! I think it would be dope. Della said, wish we could have a pet version of the Predator that would be worth grinding to get. Yes. Wouldn't it be awesome if they did that with all of them? I mean, my rage character being able to have a butcher one would be really good. Creepy, but good. I want that. Racist said, yes, I learned the broker has a lot of stuff on it. I am returning player, so I'm still trying to figure out this game. It's a high grind for sure and fun. It is a high grind, that is true. But yeah, I'm really glad that you're enjoying it and that it's fun. He also said Joker would be hard if they made him a event boss. That would be dope. I mean, I don't think they're bringing back the Joker anytime soon. It seems like they've kind of left him by the wayside, changed the narrative for Harley so he's not really involved. And I'm really sad to see that because he was one of my favorite villains. But yeah, it feels like they're not going to bring him back. I would love it though. I would love it if they would bring him back. I found him so entertaining, so interesting, fascinating, weird, right? A good watch! But no, I don't think they're going to do it. Oh, we're at the bottom of the chat again. Which is good, because I will say, I'm getting tired and I'm hungry. I don't know if I should eat or sleep, though. It's like 12:10 p.m. a.m. It's tomorrow. It's tomorrow for me now. So I don't know if I should eat or not, or if I should sleep. I don't know. 0110 said they inflated everything on the broker. Yeah, as soon as we didn't have to pay upfront a broker fee, we ended up with inflation over there because people were able to put whatever price they liked within reason. It's based on whatever the demand is for it, and if they can up the price, they will. And it looks like that is definitely what happened when they removed the upfront fee. It doesn't impact me too hard. I don't really play the broker game very much, but I know for a lot of people that's made it really, really difficult to be able to get pieces and style pieces, collection pieces, whatever it is that you're aiming for. And I'm really sorry to hear that. It makes it very tough. It's almost like there's a bit of gatekeeping going on with the broker, which is really sad. And even if you try to put something up there cheap, people buy it and then literally put it up again at like an inflated price. There's no point. There's no point if you want to give it to somebody who needs it or trade it. Maybe that's safer, because yeah, people are massively overcharging there, in my opinion. Or at least a little bit overcharging, depending on the server you're on. Dallas said if you play the auction housing game, you are basically playing a game of Monopoly. If you have the money, you can buy all the property. Yeah! That's why I don't play the broker game. I don't like that game. Tiny Lila said, time for you to sleep. Yeah, I think so. I think I'm going to try and get some sleep. Dallas said, I like how, like now that the fee is taken from the profit now for posting items to sell. I like it in that if I'm going to post something in the broker and I know genuinely what the price is, what it's actually worth, but I don't have the down payment, it benefits me in that way. But some people take advantage of that and go, well, I can up the price and I can buy everyone else's and up the price on those, and then they're essentially just selling everything at inflated prices and people can't compete with it because there are people in this game who've been playing much longer who have way more currency to be able to do that sort of thing, and no upfront price is good for us but good for them as well. So yeah, it's hard. I can't tell if it was better off when we had an upfront cost or no upfront cost, to be honest. I think before we had a little bit more of a reasonable pricing, but yeah, I don't know. 0110 said 1 trillion for colas. Great idea. Static said, what I was trying to say to Hello Shadow Lady and Hello Shadow's mum? Trying to say where? Oh, in the retracted message? Okay, well, hello, Static Shadow. Tiny Lilith said, I think some people use the broker for a bank. Yeah, Multiverse said the same thing to me. I didn't really think about it, but I think you're right. You put something in the broker, you increase the price of it by a huge amount, and you just put it in there. Worst thing that happens is someone buys it at that insane price, which won't happen. But usually it just means you have storage space. You can leave stuff in there for, 2 weeks, and then it will come back to you. So I think some people are doing that too. Richard said, thank you for the live stream and have a good night. Thank you. I will get some rest. Dallas said, I am guilty of that. I own the market for one specific item. Actually, I set the price for it. Yeah, see, that's exactly what I know is happening. People grab up their items and will sell them and keep the price for that item at whatever level they deem. So you are apparently the people I'm talking about. Raisa said, great night to all, including people I didn't mention. Thank you. Yeah, Della said I buy low to sell high. Yeah, that's exactly what happens if I try to sell something low so that someone who needs it can get it. It always ends up back in there. Like, I see it disappear, I see it reappear, and it ends up really high. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, I'm going to stop reading through the chat because I am going to go to bed and we could be here for hours longer because we all know how chatty I get. Right? I can't help myself. So, yeah, I'm going to say thank you to everybody who joined me. So, for the first stream, thank you so much for joining me. For the second stream, so many people came back and newer people have joined. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you for all of the topics you brought up. I really love chatting about DC. We all know I'm addicted to this game. So, really, really fun conversation, and I love it so much. And, guys, I really, really appreciate everyone who also watches this stream later because I know it does happen. It surprised me when I found out the first time that live streams, I get a lot of views later on. So that's lovely as well. So thank you to everybody who watches now and chats now, and everybody who watches later. You guys are awesome. And without you, my channel couldn't be the way that it is. And I love it. I love it. So guys, have a good one.